chuck it. Gotta find other ways to say that so I'm not swearing in the first 5 minutes. We have a strike right now on YouTube. If we get another copyright claim, we can get like taken off of YouTube.
Oh.
So we gotta be careful about that for the next couple weeks. Although I think we could refute it. I don't have to deal with doing that.
Yeah, this episode could be refutable. But yeah, that's not true.
I forget what this one's for too. Something we were playing. Oh, it's for the Apple thing. Apple's like trying to take us off of YouTube. Screw you, Apple. I'm just trying to show you a stupid $3,500 headset, and you can't even play the commercial without getting hard copy.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd.
People think the speculation is it's a way to control the reviews because they won't they'll only let people doing positive reviews stay up. They're not gonna take down anybody else saying anything negative about it. Although, like, it happened while we were playing the thing, so they didn't know if we were saying positive or negative about it. Like, it was taken down. Our stream got pulled off of YouTube while we were showing it, so it's definitely not like a per case basis. They're just auto-pulling everything.
Yeah, take everything down so they can only keep up that stuff that they explicitly know is, like, positive. I don't know.
Oh, I just turned the music down. I could hardly hear what you're saying. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Tech Talk.
What's going on?
Tickety Tech Talk.
Happy Tuesday.
Chickity, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Shotgun bullets are bad for your health.
Positions. I have an ass load of liquidity and honey and wax.
So what happened to your wallet that got banned? Did you just lose a bunch of money with that, or can you still withdraw everything?
Oh no! So it's I was using like a layer 2 to do like, what is it called? To do perpetual like futures trading, and you have to, like, it's not allowed in the United States, so you have to use a VPN. And when you don't use a VPN from the wallet address that you're doing the trades from, and you do, like, your web traffic comes from the United States, you get like a strike, and you have to confirm that you're not in the United States. And then on the second strike, if it happens again, they ban your wallet, meaning you can no longer create new like orders, and any existing orders that you already had, like limit orders and stuff to trade, are immediately like canceled, and the only thing you can do is close your position.
That doesn't seem that bad though, as far as like you just can't interact with the protocol. It's not like they're freezing your money like Binance or something.
Continue, yeah, and then you can withdraw, which if you're not, like, there's a way to withdraw. It's all on Ethereum mainnet, so there's a way to do it for free, but it takes 24 hours. So there's like basically after you've closed your position, you have to wait 24 hours to withdraw your money, and then you can just send it to a new wallet and deposit it again and keep trading, as long as you're not using the VPN. It just kind of is irritating, especially considering if you're keeping positions that have like a stop loss order or like limit orders ready to like take profit and stuff. Now all of that stuff has to be done manually, so I'm having to like babysit my position. Is kind of like the downside. Especially since I have a short sell on Ethereum.
I'm not saying it's an ideal scenario, but it's not like a fucking I just lost all my money scenario, which is
no. It's just like I have to manually close, and it's going to take me a day to get my money out, and then that's the only downside basically. But it's kind of annoying. It's DeFi. Let me just do whatever I want.
It's because the SEC comes after anybody that fucking fucks with Americans.
You can't tell them the way Binance got in trouble. They're not like, they're definitely doing enough to keep American users off of their product. Like, it's a pain in the ass to use those things from America.
It would be nice if Americans were just allowed to participate in new technology and innovation and the shit that's kind of rocking, but
yeah, it's
the
also
SEC won't let me be. They try to shut me down on MTV.
It also sucks because when I make a new wallet now, I will have to move my USDC, which is the collateral, into that new wallet. And once it's back in my wallet, it does cost, a network fee to send from wallet to wallet, which is an Ethereum mainnet transaction. So I expect will probably cost like $1.50 or something, which isn't nothing.
Whatever happened to Land of the Free? Land of the Free to not use decentralized protocols.
Right? It's irritating. I'm stuck having to use a VPN. which is fine. It's just that this time I was irritated because my VPN was running, and I think it's just that my browser had like cookies like saved when I went back to like the tab where I was doing the trading. It knew that I was not, like, even though I was using a VPN, it still like saw the web traffic coming not through the VPN, which that was kind of a big fuck up. Avoidable if I had just refreshed, but oops. It also sucks because I earn kickbacks for trading on that application, and now that wallet is banned, so I'm not going to keep earning those kickbacks, and so I'm going to have to submit an Ethereum mainnet transaction to claim them, which I was just planning on letting those continue to rack up to eventually claim them in the future at some point. But now that I won't be continuing to rack them up with this wallet, I'm going to have to claim them and, you know, consolidate them into a wallet that isn't banned, which kind of sucks. But you know, whatever. It's a small price to pay to be able to do, big old leverage swings. Hey, what's going on, Priscilla? Chilling.
Hey, Priscilla.
We just had Lewis's dad, who was in town all weekend and since last Thursday.
We just ate at Salsa and Beer, one of our favorite restaurants in Los Angeles for Mexican food.
Yeah, Salsa and Beer. If you're ever in town, look for the Salsa and Beer. Get yourself the new cream burrito. Oof, so good.
Yeah, yesterday we went to the that's why I had the fancy uni pasta. So my dad was in town. He wanted to check something out, and like Little Tokyo. We had gone to downtown LA to see the Broad, and we went to the art museum, and we were just trying to find food close by, and ended up going to like a Italian inspired Japanese restaurant and had pasta with uni based sauce where like sea urchin was used to make the kind of like cream sauce, and I've never had that before, and it was actually like, I don't know, I wouldn't say I'd like do it all the time. And also I guess if NFT Gamer TV just gifted subs, thank you. That's what Marcelik's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Like, I'm not the biggest seafood fan, and like I was worried it was gonna just taste like a slimy fish, but like it's a really mild, kind of just tastes like ocean water mixed with your pasta, which sounds weird, but it's actually like really good and is super rich and creamy, and it's fun. But
yeah, your dad likes to go to like really good fine dining places, and that like pasta bar thing we went to the other day was really good too.
Yeah, yesterday we went to an Italian restaurant. We did like a tasting menu that was kind of like a 5-course meal, and that shit was bomb. So I've been eating way better than I normally eat. Also, my stomach has been like pretty fucking good the past couple of days. So like I've been not eating gluten or dairy for like a year, and like yesterday we had a cheese pasta taste dish, like 3 cheese pasta dishes in a row, and like I don't know, I'm doing fine. So I don't know what the fuck's up with my stomach.
That should have done you in.
But we did a lot of fun stuff, like.
That place was also
stuff.
like, I don't know if you read in the menu, they said that the pasta there, like the noodles were handmade in Italy and then like overnight shipped to this restaurant in LA. It was some excessive like nonsense, but you know,
it was great.
The carbon footprint of that meal was absurd.
We went to Korean barbecue on a Saturday. It was an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue, but they charge you extra if you don't eat all your food. So it's like all you can eat, but don't order too much. But my dad had a blast there. He had never eaten Korean barbecue before. He's like, so like, how does it work? They cook it in front of you. I was like, how have you not done this in the like with all like you? My dad's kind of a foodie and he loves like higher end food experiences. So I was like, how have you not done Korean barbecue ever?
Yeah, me too.
So he had a blast there.
With like my Korean barbecue eating like friends, the wait staff does not help as much as they did when we went. Like that guy was like cooking our stuff for us and cutting it up. Like when I go with like my friends who do the Korean barbecue all the time, like it's like they can tell. Like the wait staff is like, oh, these people know what they're doing, and like
honestly,
these people
appreciate it. I'm like super fucking paranoid of eating raw pork. Like if you eat undercooked pork, it can fuck you up so badly. So like having somebody tell me like this is done, you can eat it, like really reassures me to the point where, especially because like I don't know, everybody else had been, you and my dad were drinking pretty heavily and like pretty cross-faded. I feel like you can make a mistake with food safety pretty easily at that point. Like.
Yeah,
but
Random King never gets help, so they know that you know what you're doing when you do it.
I'm also paranoid to cook my own meat.
Mark just hates the concept, I think, of Korean barbecue too. He's just not a fan of like, I paid you for the meal. Like, why am I having to cook it myself? You know, Mark is very against the do-it-yourself. dining
My
experience.
SIBO only fucking like it's like my SIBO is based on Michelin stars. If it's under 1 Michelin star, then my SIBO kicks up. But like my stomach condition is actually like it's like as long as you're
Yeah,
giving me wealthy people food. If you buy
you
cheap
have
food,
super
fuck you. But
bougie you have super bougie bacteria in your stomach, and it's like whenever you feed them junk food, they're like, like this is not gonna fly, Lewis. You gotta go two
that's
stars
true.
at least.
Our thing was a 2 hour all you can eat, and honestly, like we were stuffed by like an hour and 10 minutes in. Like, so I didn't feel like a rush to eat the Korean barbecue personally. But
Yeah,
if you want to eat it faster and you cook it yourself, you can't eat it before they come and tell you it's ready.
I'm just imagining Priscilla. She's like, she has like her game strategy. She's like, all right, we're gonna do this, this, and this first because these cook the fastest, and then we're gonna you just have it
But
like
what else
worked
did we
out.
do? We went to the
The
Academy
Academy
Museum or whatever. It's like the
Film
movie
Academy.
award museum. That was pretty
Yeah, they
fun.
had a bunch of Oscars on display.
I went to the Broad. We saw a stand up comedy show on Friday. We saw like Anthony Jeselnik and Theo Vaughn. That was fun. Also, the Sklar brothers. They were kind of a highlight of that comedy show, which that was just a random comedy show. Like they weren't even like headlining. They were like one of 10 comedians that just had Anthony Jeselnik and Theo Vaughn on there, which is like I don't know. In LA, I guess stuff like that exists, but we had a pretty great time. I went to the Baked Potato on Monday night, which is a jazz club in Los Angeles. The Baked Potato is fantastic. I mean, if you're not into jazz music, you probably won't have a good time there, but like it's super intimate and the music was incredible. So I had a really, really fun last couple days. I honestly got out more in I got out more in like the last 4 or 5 days than I have in the last year. Like I've been locked in my room ranting about NFTs and having stomach issues, and I think a lot of it's like stress related. And I think just like getting out and having fun and stuff like is partially why my stomach is not so fucked up. And like I haven't been nervous or worried about anything in a couple days, which normally I'm just angry and salty about stuff all the time. I think that's very bad for my health. So I think realistically a big reason like why I'm not having stomach issues is just because like it's stress free. But yeah, I had a great last couple days, and it's been kind of a nice like refresher after spending so much time cooped up in my room. Maybe I'll yeah, I've my sugar daddy's my real daddy, but he did pay for everything. That's why I was able to do all this stuff because I have no money, and I thank him for that. I appreciate it. Ate really nicely and got to go do like live music and comedy events that I don't normally get to do. So it was a really fun weekend. And also, it's just fun to see my dad. Father's Day was on Sunday, and I see him maybe like 2, 3 times a year. So I don't know. It was nice. Like I just cleared my schedule. I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything like in the space, the NFT space, or like gaming. I just kind of like put all that aside for the past couple of days and hung out with my dad. So it was a nice break from my normal life. But now I got to get back into like I have classical music. I need the master for a client today, and I have like a bunch of work now lined up because I wasn't doing work the past couple of days. So back to the grind. Hopefully my stomach issues don't just pop up immediately, but it was really fun. I hope all of y'all had happy Father's Days if you are a father yourself or you were able to talk to your father. I hope you had a good one. Mine was really fun. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know. I also could just not spend so much time on my computer, but um, I like doing this stuff a lot. But I'm not very good with self control. I need to get better at like forcing myself to take a break from this stuff. I also like I quit smoking weed last week, so I think that's changed my mood a bit. Like smoked weed like every day for a year and a half, and it's now been like over 2 weeks since I've smoked weed, so that's changed my perspective and stuff a bit. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Playing the new Zelda. Oh, how's the new Zelda? I have still not downloaded that. I've been playing the Diablo 4 though, so I'm not like short pressed to find video games. I've been getting real into my Diablo character's like level 40 something now.
Nice. We still need to do Act 3 if you haven't finished it yet. It's
Yeah,
like
I'm,
halfway
I'm
through.
still. I haven't done any of the main act since like we stopped. I've only done that together, but I'll do
Hell
like
yeah.
side quests whenever I'm playing like I'm by myself. Been doing a bunch of side quests, uncovering a bunch of the map. I still don't have a horse though. I feel like once we beat Act 3, it'll be a lot
Yeah,
easier to
the
do
beginning of
those.
Act 4 is when you get the horse. I can't wait to do the mount. Because then when you replay the game on like the harder torment difficulties or whatever, then you get to do the horse and all those annoying quests where you have to run from like point A to point B and just talk to people. And you're like, I've already done this. And it's not the fun part of the game. You'll at least be able to blow through that
Yeah.
way quicker because you have a mount.
It's funny too because like when I'm exploring new parts of the map, it's fun to see like I'm fighting all these mobs and people on horses are just like flying past me, just like zooming through them up. I'm like, I can't really outrun all these guys, so I'm just gonna fight them all. But my guy also stomps. Like, gotten pretty fucking good lately. I got some legendary item the other day that ups my like burn, like my damage over time. Now like does more damage the longer that it's been dealing damage over time because of the legendary item I have. Pretty cool, no big deal. I don't know if you can do that in Zelda, so you know maybe it's just a little bit better. I'm just kidding. I still really want to play Zelda. I've heard nothing but good things about the new Zelda.
We still got to beat through. I think we have my brother's. Or I think you said you bought it
Yeah.
too, right? But I have the actual CD
Well,
version
yeah,
that my
I
brother
just
lent to
downloaded
me.
it. Nah, I just downloaded Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, not the newest one, the Tears of the Kingdom. I don't have yet, but I haven't beat Breath of the Wild, so yeah, shots fired. I feel like I had to redact that pretty quickly or roll back. I definitely.
Max is also a massive Zelda fan, which is why it's
I
funny.
think it's hard to compare Diablo and Zelda because they're like one is online and one is not, and the online aspect is like I do really like that. Like Lewis can just drop in and we can play together, or like you can have a few friends like jump in and you
They're
can,
also
like,
totally different styles of games. Zelda is a more like intellectually stimulating game. If we're gonna be real, like you don't really have to think to play Diablo, attack and slash. You can kind of just turn your brain off and slam buttons. Like Zelda, you have to
That-
solve puzzles and stuff, so it's a little like more involved as far as like I know.
Yeah,
Like if you do other stuff, like if I'm like watching TV in the background or like listening to podcasts and stuff, it'll probably be easier to play Diablo than Zelda.
also I really liked the whole like the gameplay for Zelda all the way like growing up. It was always like this. You start out with kind of like a basic kit, and then each like enemy you face introduces like a new piece of gear into your kit and a new way to like fight. And so like each dungeon teaches you like how to use a new thing, and then each subsequent dungeon adds that to the puzzles. It was very like it builds all of the like stuff builds on itself. It's cool.
Says I can attach a spear onto another spear in Zelda. Can you do that in Diablo?
I
No,
feel
but
like
you can
I
do a
can
bunch of crazy shit in Diablo.
yeah I
You
can
summon a
sock it.
serpent snake that spits fire and stuff and wraps around people.
Yeah, that's dude, that fucking my Diablo dude, that snake move is like the cornerstone of my kit. Like the way my whole thing works is like every spell is pyromancy, but there's that one like snake spell that just like pulls everyone into the center wherever I cast it, and while the snake is on the board, I can cast pyromancy spells for free. So I just like bombard shit with pyromancy while my mana refills because I'm not actually spending any of it to cast all those spells. And by the time that snake goes away, I have like refilled mana and literally everything I could possibly have already cast has been cast. Pretty dope.
Yamster says, I think he did a typo thing, but he's meant to say, get so mad when I have trouble figuring out a puzzle because I know it's designed for kids to be able to solve them. I've heard some of them are actually a little tricky, like
Yeah,
for Zelda.
that's pretty fucking. I will admit some of those puzzles had me stumped for hours in Zelda.
I am the KY says, but can you drop a hot flute solo in Diablo? I don't think you can.
No, I don't think there's much music going on in
Is
Diablo.
it a flute or is it an ocarina? Because I remember you used to always have to play the ocarina to summon stuff in Zelda.
I do really like them. There's always been like a musical element to each of the Zelda games. One of my favorite was the Wind Waker one, where you have like the conductor stick and you're like conducting the wind. You can like change the wind direction when you sail around. That game was super fucking cool.
I don't think I've ever beat a single Zelda. Like, we've already talked about our gaming histories, but I grew up with Sega consoles, so I didn't have Zelda games growing up. And when I did play Nintendo, I was playing multiplayer games. Like, we would play Super Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. Like, I'd have to go to friends' houses to play them. So very rarely are you like going to your friend's house to watch them just play Zelda or like trade off playing Zelda. That wasn't really like the vibe.
Oh damn! I didn't realize the demographic for banging flute solos was really old ladies. Good to know though.
Flute solos are dope. Lizzo does some hot flute solos. Shout out to Lizzo. If she's watching, which we know she is.
I'm just picturing old women just like drooling over the flautist. He's got it all. He's damn. He's like, yeah. I'm trying to
Kenny
think.
G drops them panties. Kenny G's the freaking panty dropper.
Really? Didn't realize the woodwind was doing it for the
Oh, wait,
old
does
ladies.
Kenny G play saxophone? I think I got it wrong. Does he play flute? What does Kenny G play? We're gonna have to look it up. I think he plays
Oh.
sax. I think I got that wrong.
He probably that
he's a
guy's
saxophone player.
drowning in groupie sex after the show, flautist sex
Soprano sax.
from the old ladies.
Is that pink the rare rug apes transaction? The pink is the alien world transactions. But I like his ape picture. He's got the pirate ape. If people have missed it, there's a collection called Rug Apes that just is like very, very poorly hand drawn pictures of apes, and people seem to be enjoying it on Wax. It's almost like a counterculture movement on Wax, so I appreciate it for that sense. But it's also kind of convoluted. You have to like get weird blend tokens to be able to get the drop, and then people like 10x the price of the drop if you don't know how to get the tokens. And I've been too lazy to figure it out. But
No.
been fun. The pink is Alien Worlds. Alien Worlds is still pushing over 100 transactions a second. That's like most of what's happening on Wax. And then Farmers World is pretty consistently second.
Farmers World is still pushing. Farmers World is the blue, right?
Farmers World, I mean, like,
Green.
they're not making new stuff, but like the game still functions in the sense that it's a token faucet that you can trade tokens around with. There's just been no new developments in like a year and a half. Hey, what's going on, Nuno? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope life is treating you well after Atomic Hub. I actually don't know if your last day has happened yet, or that was your last day when you're doing all those streams and stuff. I'm bad at reading comprehension, so. But I hope all is well over there, Nuno. Do we want to start going over some Wax or some crypto market stuff? I feel like I can talk about how much fun I had with my dad on Thursday.
Yeah, I also had fun with your dad visiting.
Yeah, it was great having him in town. It's nice to see him. My dad will be back in Thanksgiving. We're going to Palm Springs again, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, let's jump over to take a look at what's happening in the crypto markets lately. So, I'm jumping straight into the Ethereum chart right now, right? We also check how.
I think this week is also Atomic Hub's game week. If people have missed that, yesterday's Grubfish, today might be Warsaken. I might be misquoting it, but if you're into Wax games, you can win some Wax for playing Wax games, interacting with streamers and stuff. We wanted to do Grubfish, but because my dad was in town, I wasn't able to stream yesterday.
I lost my Taco Swap tab. I wanted to pull up my honey liquidity. All right, let's actually look at the market and not get sidetracked here. So here's the market. We're looking at the daily chart. Ethereum, a little bit of a pump in the last week. So last week when we were looking, Ethereum was starting to sell off around like 1,700 again, and still has been, in this bear trend pushing down. It's still very much in that trend, but it's kind of like what I would consider a little bit of a short squeeze in the last like week or so, kind of as the markets were over saturated with short selling pressure. So you can see a lot of people were expecting to see this, kind of correct back down and come down a little lower. We have been watching it on the weekly, also been expecting it to come to retest kind of this band here, which this past week we actually did. Wick all the way down there, which was like 1625, 1600. So 1650 was kind of around the range where I was saying I'm looking for the markets to cool off and maybe bounce around 1650. You can see with the RSI here, the relative strength index on the weekly, we are starting to become, oversold. So looking like we're running out of steam in the next week or so on the downward trend. And then you can see also here with on-balance volume kind of climbing along with the price climbing. And then you can see here if we just frame this flatline area of the last year almost. It's been a while since it's been flatlining. Each one of these candles is a month, so it's like half a year or so. You can see here On balance volume, also kind of flatlining. So really not giving us any indication that it is going to break out and bounce or that it's going to dump. If it was like falling on balance volume while we were flatlining, I would expect kind of like, okay, we're probably not going to bounce and we'll probably pass through and keep falling in the weekly time frame. And if it was a climbing on balance volume while we were flatlining, I would also expect more, with more conviction, I would expect us to bounce around 1600 or 1650, which right now I don't see that. So I think we might run out of steam and flatline here, and we'll have to pay attention and see if we are going to get our bounce or not. And then again, let's see on the daily chart, zooming in a little closer here again. So still kind of what we've been expecting for the past several weeks already since we've been looking at this. Still playing out exactly what we're looking for, the pullback kind of retest to this area, and then we're looking for a bounce to confirm that this bull trend is now flipping the market bullish, and we'll kind of like push back up higher to basically retest this level here, which would be 2550, 2600 for Ethereum, and then afterwards test this peak before possibly making new all-time highs if we have indeed turned back into a bull market. Again, I still think it's too early to call all that. I think what we're seeing here is kind of like a retest pump, which will, in my opinion, likely not result in a whole market flip. And I feel like we're probably going to retest these lower levels again before eventually making new all-time highs. I do think we have probably like 6 to 12 months left of kind of sideways market action, or pumps with pretty immediate dumps afterwards, kind of like we see here over these weeks, where we got kind of like an upward movement getting more and more aggressive and then immediately being stomped down. And now I want to see, are we getting stomped down just to before we started moving up aggressively, which would be right around this bar, or are we going to bounce here and continue, get another nice aggressive kind of blow off candle to push up again, to push our RSI back up, and to at that point here on this chart right now, actually, that you can see pretty clearly the OBV is not making higher highs just yet. We got close. This last couple weeks here is the peak of the on balance volume, and again, like I was saying, in order to get my first impression that a market is flipping, I want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows on the on balance volume. And like I said, we didn't really get that higher high on the peak here. This is the last low, still a lower low. So now that we are getting the pullback, I do want to see, are we going to finally see a higher low followed then by a higher high to see a flip in this market? But we're not quite there yet. It's still kind of uncertain, I would say. And let's take a look at Wax really quick while we're already looking at these charts. Wax is still in its weekly kind of like bearish trend. It's very much oversold on the weekly, looking for like a bounce here soon, hopefully. Let's look at the daily. And we've seen Wax over the last few weeks has been, selling off just like we expected. Even though we got a big old candle on this day, it was just a wick, very short-lived, very quickly like stomped out, similar to what we were talking about a minute ago with Ethereum. And still we're closing, most of our days below this, the trend line that I'm tracking here with my indicator. And you can see we are approaching also, this is the daily. We're starting to approach the overbought section, so we'll likely retest the strength band by pushing all the way up to overbought, and then most likely be rejected here and retest the same level that we're at right now, which is 4.2 cents. We've been around this level pretty much all week. So last week, so pretty much all week, and what we're expecting as this week would be potentially a retest up to 4.6. We could even give it some extra room and say up to 5 cents. But I would expect the range for this week of trading on Wax will likely stay between 4 cents flat and 5 cents flat, kind of in between here. And most likely we're going to push up to like 4.7 or something, and then have run out of on balance, or have run out of RSI here, relative strength index, the stochastic relative strength index. and will likely be rejected and pushed back down. And then we'll need to see, are we going to be making lower low or a higher low at that point? And if we, bounce at a higher point, then we can hopefully see the market push up here and start to flip this trend. But right now, the trend is still down with Wax. And I do believe with Ethereum and Bitcoin, we haven't seen this bottom yet, although it is going to likely be volatile with a lot of the news that's unfolding out there right now. So if people are not paying as close attention as I am to the crypto markets, there's obviously been a lot of a stir in the crypto like centralized marketplace with the SEC suing Coinbase for securities fraud, or for like trading unregistered securities rather, and suing Binance for the same thing, along with alleging financial fraud. So major exchanges being like shaken up by the SEC. And then at the same time this week, there is like really credible sources giving out rumors and rumblings about Fidelity getting into a crypto, like basically buying up Grayscale and offering a crypto ETF. Fidelity is like a major institutional bank that most people's like pension funds are insured through, or are managed by rather. Fidelity, or it's usually Fidelity, Vanguard, or like BlackRock are pretty much the biggest of these like institutional banking players. And this week there's very credible rumors out there saying that Fidelity and BlackRock are both about to make some big moves within the crypto scene. Fidelity potentially buying up an existing player who's obviously, in the wake of all of this shake-up stuff from the SEC, struggling. A lot of these big, Coinbase and stuff, stock took a pretty major hit if you track those shares as well. And so these companies are struggling now, and it's interesting, at least to me, to see institutional banking players coming in and swooping up and like buying up. It's a very shark kind of move, where the SEC comes in and says, disrupts the existing crypto market, and then the existing financial industry comes in and kind of gets a more sturdy foothold in the wake of all this shakeup kind of news caused by this announcements. So it does feel to me like institutional players are using the turmoil of the market sell-off and the news right now, the uncertainty caused by the news with investors, to basically strengthen their footing in crypto assets. Fidelity, like I said, by potentially like being in the talks of purchasing Grayscale, which is they manage the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is a Bitcoin, like it trades on the New York Stock Exchange. You can buy GBTC, which is a shares of the trust, which are physically backed by Bitcoin held by Grayscale, although there is no direct way for an owner of shares of the trust to redeem those Bitcoins and physically take possession of them that I'm aware of. So it is basically synthetic Bitcoin, but verifiably, backed by real Bitcoin held by a real institutional player. And it's the rumors I've been hearing is that Fidelity is buying them out and then taking their products to their own clients. And then the rumor about BlackRock is that BlackRock is filing with the SEC to have their own Bitcoin-backed ETF. So they want to launch an ETF asset on the market, on the stock market, and they are filing the needed documentation with the SEC for that for their Bitcoin asset legitimate. And
somebody's in here named SEC Gary Gensler. We got the head of the SEC up in our Twitch chat. Definitely not an impersonator. Welcome.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like news this week, and a lot of that news is relatively positive crypto, but ultimately the chart has been telling us the crypto market has been bear. Here we're looking at the daily chart right now, and it still hasn't changed. I still am kind of a bear right now. I am maintaining a few short positions at the moment. Although I think at like 1788, I'd be considering cutting those back, which is a little bit this is quite a bit above where we have plenty of room to go to where I would be uncomfortable holding short still at this point. But I still think we're going to move down a bit. I do still think that a lot of this news is reason for, you know, the market to kind of squeeze people like me out of our shorts. Like there's a good amount of positive sentiment, and especially over the weekend. So, you know, a lot of these are 1-day candles, a good amount of this like pump and volatility happening in the last, you know, 4 days long weekend. And so when the weekend is long like that, the volume within the market is not quite as high as it is during the trading week. So it's a lot easier for volatility to kind of take hold of these markets. Although today the market opened and we got a big, nice pump. So we'll see. Again, I'm looking for the market generally to move down, but in the next few days, I think we're going to see quite a bit of volatility. We did do the wick down and tap the weekly support, which again is right here. So we did actually get this. This was like at the end of last week, kind of like we did wick down right to where I wanted to bounce. So this is a bit of a bounce here, especially if this week now is going to start to close higher, and we are considering this, you know, the bottom and this tap the bounce. But and again, you know, we do have not much room left to sell down on balance volume. I'm sorry, on the RSI, but again, it can also be flatlining, and you can see here the flat, like by the time we hit flatline with SRSI, it was this candle here. So you still had quite a bit of room down from here to the bottom here, while it was at 100% oversold. So just because we hit oversold doesn't mean we're done moving down. But right now I am looking for basically, like I said, around 1788. So around like 1850 for sure, I would say we're probably getting rejected and then moving back down. But yeah, 1788, 1790 is kind of where I'm expecting. There's a decent amount of resistance right now, especially on the daily charts. The daily 1790 would be like, yeah, right around here, which is effectively the range that we were stuck in here for multiple days. Like this range has now become, which, you know, was support here because we were pulling down, and then this range here was support for multiple days. Even these wicks wicked down to the same range, and right now we've lost this support, and this is the retest of that same range again. So we're trying to, which, you know, if I put in my lines, there you go, it was a little bit below where we had marked out our support. But if we can move this down here, this is about where I would expect us to find some pretty good resistance and likely not push much further beyond this. If we do start pushing beyond this and then, you know, retesting it and bouncing again, that would be a great indication that we're starting to turn this trend. But again, like I said, we're still closing well below the trend line here. We're still in a bear print here on the daily, and I'm still expecting us to stick to that. Although today we definitely got, you know, or this last few weeks and this weekend for sure, we got like a nice bit of positive price action. A lot of it feels like a short squeeze to me, especially when I look at on-chain open interest. So if I can go to like GMX, for example, this is one of the biggest, I'd say the second biggest by volume trading platforms for future contracts, derivatives like perpetual market. And then if I go to the dashboard, I can see there's currently $82 million of open interest long. So people betting on the market going up with, you know, $82 million. But at the same time, there's $47 million short sold. So this is more than 50% of the long traders are trading short. This is a pretty thick, like biased short ratio. Although clearly much more interest is long than short, the amount of, you know, of short to long here usually when the market is climbing is something like between 5 and 8x, meaning that, you know, if you have 10 million short, you would usually in an uptrend you'd see like 50 million as the counterpart to that long, or even up to like 80 million sometimes for each 10 million. So since right now we're seeing about, you know, 20, like less than 18 million per 10 million in long, this is showing me that there's quite a few dollars worth of liquidity being hedged short. So there's not a lot of confidence that the market is going to continue to just shoot upwards when we look at the open interest on future protocols like this. And this is a decent amount of money. This is $130 million or something worth of liquidity that's currently open, and then there's almost $500 million in liquidity available to trade on these pools. So this is kind of a nice litmus test. I also like to look at DYDX as the biggest of these protocols, although it's a little bit harder to see their open interest and which way it's biased. DYDX is the one that banned my wallet because you can't use this from the United States. But this one's also, it's very similar. You can come here to trade. Obviously, yeah, it needs me to connect my wallet, and it's probably going to yell at me for not, for being in a place where you can't trade from. Yeah, so here, can't trade from here. That's fine. So normally, you could take your positions here, and let's see, you'd have your little portfolio, and then here it'll show me. So there's $1.6 billion in 24-hour volume happening here, with almost 300 million in open interest, but I can't tell exactly which. So here you can actually see which direction the open interest is going. So Bitcoin is mostly long, while Ethereum is more short. You can see people are this being green means you're getting paid to hold a long position. This being red means you're paying to hold a long position, which also means you're getting paid to hold a short position. So you can look through and see all the different assets here and see what direction and how much interest is open on those markets. It's quite a bit of people thinking Ethereum's going to fall since it's paying short sellers or paying long traders. So, like I said, this one's a little harder to see. I really like GMX is a nice little overview. How much is open long, how much is open short, and I know by looking at this over the years and over the weeks and weeks, every time I'll check here, I'm used to seeing the long interest being 4 to 8 times bigger than the long interest or than the short interest. Sorry, and so that seeing the short interest being such a large chunk of the long interest makes me feel like there's a lot of people who are on the same page as me as far as thinking that the market's going to continue to sell off a bit. But yeah, we'll have to see. Of course, you can get closer than this, but let's just stay to the 1 week and the 1 day since we're only checking on these markets once every week. So again, what we're thinking this week, probably retest up to this orange line that I just moved up here, and then I am still very much convinced that we'll stick to the trend and continue moving down. I think that this pump in the last week or so has been a bit of a retest to old support, and it serves as a squeeze to push out short sellers, like a short squeeze effectively. With all this real world news about major institutional players entering the crypto scene, kind of driving the short squeeze sentiment. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we don't close, above 1788, 1790 is kind of where I am. I might need to, dip on my short sell for now and reassess and maybe re-enter some other time in the future. But with all that in mind, let's look at Wax really quick. So with Wax, again, we thought maybe around 5 cents, 4 and 5 cents is probably the trading range. Most likely we'll push back up to 5 cents. Before selling back down, or maybe flipping and then flipping the whole trend. But like you see on the daily chart here, we have been in a bear trend. We have been closing below our strength band for a long time, and nothing's really indicating that that's coming to a stop lately. So the only other thing to take away here is looking at the on balance volume. It is climbing compared to a sinking price. So this is more of an indication that there's an accumulation happening, and people are filling their bags with these tokens.
Mocha had a question here. Yeah. Mocha's asking, sorry, might have missed it, did you give a DEX Vault update?
A what?
DEX Vault update.
Oh, I have not. I could give an update though. So Dex Vault is like a protocol that I use to do some stablecoin farming. I created a vault. It still runs. Let's see.
So that's also a good time to wrap up what you're talking about. You don't need to we can do this after if you
That's
want to
actually
finish what you're saying.
I was about to shift over to doing the wax stuff, but let's look at the Dex Vault really quick. I've moved a
Do you
good
want to
amount.
explain what this is to people who are not Mocha? Because he's probably the only person in the chat that knows what this is.
Yes. Here, I'll do it with a wallet that actually has some liquidity in this. So let's see. That wallet would be. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know. Got it. Let's see. Oh, I don't have that one. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just show it off anyway. I was doing it on Arbitrum. So this is Dex Vaults. It's a yield farm optimizer. So I built a farm here and I published it. I pulled my liquidity, and I'll show you what I moved it into here in a second. Which actually I'll preload that too. So I had built a farm that was using this liquidity or this Dex, RB Dex right here. And then I did a farm, maybe farms. Let's see if this one will load for me here. But what I did was all vaults, and this was USG. Let's see if we find my vault. It's probably pretty empty at this point. I think there's like 80 bones left in it. Let's see. So what this is basically, each of these positions is anywhere between 1 and 3 different liquidity pools, and then the liquidity pools are like the strategy of farming these liquidity pools is published, so anybody can jump in. So like this position, for example, has 4 different people farming this same pools, and then it pools everybody's money and uses their total value to then compound or take profit based on what the strategy decides to do. Here, this is mine. Yeah, this is totally mine. Oh, nice. There's still 80 bucks in this one, 2 wallets. I've pulled from my section of this, but what this one does is here, if you share, this is mine, made by me here in Neon Max. You can see this farms stablecoin liquidity, and 40% of the rewards are compounded back into the farm, and then 60% were taken into a 50-50 profit that's split 50-50 Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the way that this pool worked was anybody could come here and use any of these assets, which would be Ethereum, USDT, USDC, FARX, or USD Plus or DAI Plus, add to this position, and then it would split whatever they deposit between all 3 of these pools. And then right now, this liquidity is still doing 4.5%, and this is why I pulled the majority of my liquidity out of here, because the yield is much higher on different farms with the same exposure, and I'm trying to pull those up here in a second. But what this was doing for me was compounding my performance, my earned liquidity yield into these stable coins. 40% and 60% was being taken profit into USD or into DAI, and I'm sorry, into ETH Bitcoin, 50-50 split. And so I made, I think, with $1,200, I ended up making like $20-something in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then like $4 or $5 in stablecoin before I pulled the liquidity back out. I might add back into this in the future, but for now there is different stablecoin farms that I jumped over to, which are over here. If this will load, because this is it's been kind of a pain in the ass for loading lately, which probably serves to actually keep me getting much more liquidity yield than I would otherwise, because not a lot of people are jumping into the farms because it's kind of a pain to navigate into them. But let's see if I can get this one to load. Maybe just staked. Probably not. That's too bad. Because there are some farms on this, like this is on the Arbitrum blockchain, so this is a second layer on Ethereum. And Arbitrum.
Here, Mocha.
Yo. Yeah, Arbitrum just made USDC, so the stablecoin, US dollar coin, just became native. Oh, here we go, finally. And so there's a pool here where all of these, you see how now the USD token here is USDCE. So all the existing stablecoin that was already issued on Arbitrum is now called USDCE, where the E stands for it's bridged with Ethereum, and the native token is just USDC. So this is a pool where I added like liquidity where it's USDC and USDCE. This is just US dollar coin, basically paired with native US dollar coin paired with bridged US dollar coin. And it's not updating the APR, but you know, I've been in this pool since yesterday and I've made like 25, almost $30 in yield on what amounts to a cash position. And there's other stablecoin liquidity farms here, which there we go. Now they're loading. Like this one, I added this liquidity. So this is where my stablecoins move to. You can see this is also like this. I put $1,000, so you can see there's 500 on the Forex, 500 on the USDC plus side. Again, just since yesterday, this is the yield it's earning from just yesterday. So overnight, like this is like 200% or something that it's paying me for stablecoins. I also added to this Forex DAI plus pool, which also is paying that absurd amount. Also, I did 500 on both sides, and you can see it's also gone up here. It's $501 now. Same with this one, 502. So like they're compounding their earnings in the pool on top of the yield that they're paying, which is denominated below here. There's another one down here. So all of these pools are paying like an absurd amount of yield. And right now, like I said, the website's a little laggy, so the APRs don't show up, and you know, there's not a crazy amount of people participating in them, which makes the yields insanely high. Like this pool is doing like 200% APR. This one's like 250 or something. This one's like 250, and I've been moving my stable coins around, chasing liquidity yield like this, because you know this is a good amount of money that I put into. Like this is $1,000, but the $1,000 I put in is exposed only to these tokens, which is Forex and DAI plus. And those tokens, I am okay holding those, and I trust that their value is going to be relatively pegged to $1. And so I really like these types of farming opportunities where I don't have to put my money into a into some other token where, yeah, I can make 100 or 200% APR, but the value of the tokens that I'm bringing to earn the APR are devaluing at a rate of like 1,000% APR a year, or APY. So it's like, no matter even if I'm making 200%, I end up like breaking even most of the time. So these types of stable farms where you get like absurdly high liquidity yield on, you know, token liquidity that is relatively stable. Like you have other options like Bitcoin in US dollars or ETH in US dollars, and these yields are really high. Like for, you know, some of the, like this one, I'll do this a little bit, and I think this one's like 350% or something like that. So that's where I've moved my money from the DEX vaults. And since this is a farm aspect that's come out like 4 or 5 days ago, the DEX vaults aren't like up to date yet to include these positions, so I can't publish a DEX vault position this way. But what I can do is, you know, manually participate in all this stuff. So I still do all of that, waiting for, you know, and then what I do on top of this is then I earn, you know, these ARX tokens or whatever they're paying me for my stable coins. I'll claim those, and then I just toggle to this earn tab, and I've been staking mine here into this. You can see I dropped 40 of them already in here since like I started doing this like 3 days ago. And so then these 40 are being paid I'm earning Ethereum at a rate of like 160 or 100 and whatever, 180% of the value of the token. Like something absurd. And if I wanted to earn Bitcoin instead, I could, you know, stake them to this one and I'd earn Bitcoin, or US dollar coin, or Forex shares, or Arbitrum token. So you have like all these different options for, you know, stake rewards. I'm kind of digging this protocol, and I feel like at this price per token, they are cheaper than what they were pre-sold for. And at this point, you know, the protocol does pretty good volume, and 100% of those stake rewards. Thanks. that you're seeing there, like that 180% that you're getting paid in Bitcoin, or this 183% we're getting paid in Ethereum for our stake. Like obviously those percentages sound absurdly unsustainable, but the way that they are earning this is from the liquidity. What is it called? From the like yield. Oh, DEX cleaner. I can show you what it looks like. They earn it from the like trading volume. So people who trade on that exchange are paying a fee. That fee does not go to the liquidity provider directly. The liquidity provider is earning, like you saw here, these farm like pools. Like the liquidity provider earns their APR here, denominated in ARX token, and then you can stake your ARX token, and that's how you earn the actual liquidity fee that people are paying. So if you look, here's Arbidex. In the last 24 hours, that's $3.8 million of volume. So you're getting, all of that volume is paying a fee, and that is where those stake rewards come from for these ARX tokens, which I'm a fan of that. And again, I earn those tokens with stable coins. So I don't have to like invest into anything crazy. I can just put my US dollar liquidity into one of these farms and then earn, relatively decent yields. And like most of them aren't like absurd. It's like 36% on Bitcoin and USDC. It's not like all of these are like in the hundreds of percentages. The reason that some of them are is because that is a brand new pool that very recently opened. But even being able to earn like, let's see, there's a couple ones that I really like. Like here's some stablecoin ones, like 8% on top of, USD plus and DAI plus. That's not bad. And then you got stuff like staked Farex ETH. So this is like Ethereum, a staked derivative of Ethereum paired with regular Ethereum. So this entire pool is just Ethereum. So they're basically paying you 4% on holding your Ethereum in this position effectively. So, for relatively low risk, I can earn these tokens, and then the tokens actually pay like these ridiculous yields. And they have been paying over 150% in this like yield for weeks. So I don't know. That's kind of what I've been doing. That's why I rotated from the DEX vaults, just because by taking a more active position in these farms, I can, earn it way outperform what an automated position does.
Okay, so Mocha's next question is: are there any minimums over there on the new one you're talking about?
No, you can do this with like 10 cents. No minimums. There's no lock periods either. You can drop into this pool and 10 minutes later drop back out.
Here's a question I'm helping somebody with off stream. Do EOS Wombat has an EOS wallet, right?
Yeah.
Can you interface with dApps with it? Like, can I log into Anchor on EOS? Somebody's trying to figure out how to buy wax right now, and you can't withdraw wax from crypto.com. It's just like you can't withdraw wax. So as far as I'm concerned, you can't buy wax in America right now. Like, you can buy it, but you can't get it into a wax wallet. So I don't know any other exchanges that let you buy wax. So I was like, maybe you can buy EOS and then figure out how to bridge wax over from EOS. Like, that might be a better option. But he doesn't have an EOS wallet, so I'm trying to like
let's do that. I think that's a fun thing to do live as part of our like tech talk here. So I'm gonna do exactly what you're trying to do. I'm gonna get myself some wax and then bring it from my Wombat wallet on EOS into my wax wallet. Check this out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess that kind of wraps up my Arbidex adventure here, where I'm earning all these. I'm also waiting for this XARX token is about to get its own stake pool here, where you should be able to earn some of the kickbacks from the Launchpad, which is their Launchpad. They're about to like do a public sale of Foxy Finance, which is kind of an interesting project. Also with KYC'd and doxed team members, which this is also a project that where the team is KYC'd and doxed, and you can like read all their information, and they're based in like it's a much more like legitimate operation than most of the DeFi protocols out there that are just like deployed anonymously. So kind of nice. I'm a fan of this thing.
First question is, how do you fund the EOS wallet? Is it free to make a Wombat EOS wallet, or do you need to have some sort of EOS, or can you pay with the credit card? Like, how do you get, because you can't do any transactions in the EOS, right, without...
Right. So the first thing I did was I have my, on Wombat, you can make an EOS wallet for free, and you can use it to do a certain amount of transactions I think per day for free as well. But beyond that, you cannot export the Wombat wallet like private keys into your Anchor without paying the Wombat app their like in-app fee for that. And I have done that in order to do what I'm about to show off. So
Real
that
quick, Mocha asks, I assume crypto will get more wax, but who knows if it's any news on why crypto don't have wax? I don't know. And they let you buy and sell wax. You just can't withdraw it. So you can still sell wax and you can still buy it. It's just stuck in your account. So I don't know why. Maybe they ran out of liquid wax. Like maybe so many people bought it and tried to withdraw that they're out. I don't know.
yeah, I thought you could do that. So I'm surprised by that.
I think it's because exchanges don't always hold all the tokens they sell to people and then they have to go source them, to be honest. But like I can't tell you what's happening behind the scenes. I don't have access to their information.
That could be it. That like they don't actually have physical wax. You're just trading a wax synthetic, and they have like dollars or whatever backing our positions. Let me. I guess I don't actually need my ledger. I don't know why I plugged that in. I can just do this. Launch Anchor Wallet.
I also don't think the person I'm trying to help is trying to get his own private keys. Like he didn't want to have to source his own private keys to make an Anchor wallet. That's why he's trying to use Wombat. So it'd be easier for him if he doesn't have to like deal with that stuff.
Yeah. So I actually think you can. Let's see. I think you can connect from your Wombat wallet to Alcor, even if it doesn't have like a Wombat as an option. Like, let's see.
I've been told anytime you can click Anchor, you can just sign into it with the Wombat.
That's what I did in the past, where like I would just say Anchor, and then it would prompt me on my phone to use my Wombat app. But what you can do though, so I guess we can just talk about it without like, I guess I can do it a little bit. So what you should be able to do is, if you change up here to EOS mainnet, and then say connect wallet, there is a way to log in with Wombat, but I don't have Wombat on my PC. So I just used Anchor, and this is the private key that I exported from my Wombat wallet into my Anchor wallet. So you can see, I don't know, actually I don't know if
But you
can
could
see
just
that.
skip that step and then sign in directly with Wombat.
You should be able to do the same thing by just signing directly in with Wombat. So once you've signed into Anchor from Wombat instead of from Anchor like I just did, you should see, if you go to your wallet, you should see all your like tokens or whatever. So what I can do is, for example, on crypto.com, I can withdraw EOS tokens to the EOS blockchain. So I would withdraw EOS to my Wombat wallet, which is named, Max Collected, which is the same name as my Wax wallet. So that might
I
get
did the
confusing.
same thing. I have the Polish dog and it's linked to the same private key because like it's an EOS key on Wax, so I use the same key for both of them too.
Yeah, that's what's up. I definitely, so I got this I made this in Wombat. So I was able to name it because I paid the $5, and that also gave me the private key, and that's how I'm accessing that same wallet from my Anchor app right now.
The way I did it is I traded Wax for EOS on KuCoin, and then I withdraw it from KuCoin to the funding address on like Blocks to fund the wallet.
Yeah, so again, you do that the same way. Would be like you're withdrawing EOS, so you can pick up EOS at any exchange. EOS is a lot more simple to withdraw. Like a lot more centralized, bigger exchanges actually offer EOS.
I will say the withdrawal fee is generally shittier. It generally costs more because EOS is worth more than Wax, so they'll have like a 5 minimum, but 5 EOS is worth a shit ton more than 5 Wax. So like there is like the minimum becomes more expensive, and then also sometimes the fee becomes more expensive.
Yeah, that's true. That's why usually I like to do like let's see what I guess I've been doing EOS like from like Change Now or something. I was using it to just like swap from one wallet to another, and that worked pretty well. But either way, let me just finish walking through this, right? Let's say you've withdrawn your EOS, you want to source some Wax. What you can do now through Alcor, and again, I'm on the EOS mainnet here. So I could go to the swap, and I can on Alcor directly swap into Wax here. So this is Wax wrapped on Alcor. So if I do like, let's say, I'll do 0.5. That should do 0.5. That would get me, an amount of Wax. Obviously, if I wasn't doing such a small amount, let's say I did like $31 that I withdrew from my account, then I could buy 700 wax worth of it. But I just don't have that kind of EOS in my wallet right now, so I'm just gonna do 7.5. So what you could do now is, and this is actually an arbitrage opportunity, so you might want to check which asset to bridge, because you might get a better deal on wax by buying it on wax mainnet. So I'm gonna actually check really quick to see. So if I go here and I go back to the wax mainnet, I can say get 7.56 wax on EOS. I'm going to connect my wallet here as well. Let's do Anchor, and I'll do my hot wallet here, first.ftw. So the way this will work now that I'm signed in, so let me toggle back over to EOS mainnet. I'm connected here. I'm going to middle mouse click on this so it opens up a new tab, and then I'm going to swap this back to wax. Now both of my things are connected, and it's kind of what I want to see. So here we go. I'm going to go to swap on wax, and then on EOS, like I said, I have 0.5, right? That's 32 cents. And right now on EOS, I could directly buy 7.56 wax with that, while at the same time on wax mainnet, if I did, let's do 0.32, 0.32 into wax. Gesundheit for myself. Here, I'd get 7.60 versus 7.56. So it's actually a better deal if I take my 0.5 and I try to get the USDT here. That would be 0.31. Is that the same though? I said 3.2. So I'd get 0.3169, right? Let's do 0.3169.
Mocha's also saying here that he withdrew wax from Binance US. And it was like 8 wax for 1600p wax transfer. But he's also saying wax might outlast Binance at this point because, although they did not freeze the assets in US Binance, even though the SEC was asking you to freeze assets, it's still kind of risky to be using it for any extended length of time because Binance US could shut down and freeze your assets pretty much at any point in time. At this point, I'd view it as a place to if you can move the money and get it out of there same day, maybe, but I wouldn't leave money on US Binance.
Yeah. So it looks like if I do 3.169, I'd actually get slightly less 5. So let's just do wax directly. Fuck it. So here we go. Let's do it. I'm going to swap into wax on EOS. I'm using the EOS I withdrew from my centralized exchange into my Wombat EOS wallet. And now I'm going to, trade this for 7.56 wax. I'm going to say swap. And, oh, boo. How am I low on this resources? That's total BS. I'm just going to click X on that. Because I know I'm not low on resources. And it just covered the fee for free. So even though it kicked up that error, I just said, screw you. And then it let me do the swap. So now you can see on my wax wallet or on my EOS wallet, I've purchased 7.5 whatever wax, right? Now I want to move this over to my wax wallet. The way I'm going to do that is by going to the bridge tab. And I'm going to say choose network on the left. I'm moving from EOS. I'm going to connect my wallet. I'm going to connect Wombat if I have my Wombat wallet, but I'm using Anchor to connect to the same private key here. So there we go. Anchor, I'm connecting my... So this you would have used Wombat for. I used my Anchor. And then I want to move it to the Wax blockchain. Connect wallet again. Here, again, you could use your Wombat wallet again if you have a Wax Wombat wallet. Here, you could also use your Cloud wallet or whatever you do have. So now I'm going to say go to, here's my... I'm signing in with my hot wallet here. So first.ftw on wax. And then down here, you choose which token. I want to move my wax. And then if I say max, it should see my full balance. There it is. So I'm going to say transfer. It's going to pop up with this transaction. It's free again. It's been handled because I haven't done any transactions today. And now I just wait. There will be one more prompt from this to send me one more transaction. But after I sign the next prompt, I will receive 7.5689. There's literally this amount. There is no fee or no slippage on this type of a transfer, I would just receive this 7.56 in my wallet. So now if I toggle back over to the Wax blockchain, you can see right now I have, 316 Wax in this wallet already, 316.58. Maybe I should, maybe I'll make a quick transaction here.
I feel like the IBC stuff is really cool and it hasn't really been like fully explored yet. Like it's still really new, but like I don't know. It's like unlike bridges I've ever used where it's like feeless. It
Yeah,
actually just like gives you what you have and like I don't know. Like I'm not smart enough to understand how the tech is different than another bridge, but like whatever the fuck they're doing over here, as long as it's secure and not hackable like the other bridges, like this just seems better. And it only works though with the EOS based chain, so it works between like Wax EOS and Tezos or whatever, but it's not going to work for like the Ethereum based chains. So I don't know if it can be like widely adapted, but it is pretty wonderful for within this ecosystem, which is much smaller.
Yeah, for moving between Wax and EOS is great, especially considering like the depth of liquidity that exists on EOS for like USDC or USDT rather. It puts everything on Wax to shame. There's like $100,000+ in liquidity for USDT, so you can easily move your USDT because there's a native USDT on EOS. You can easily bridge from any of the EVM chains into EOS USDT, and then swap USDT for a bridged Wax on EOS, like I just did, and then bridge that Wax back over to Wax to get actual Wax in your wallet. And you can see, it's already 75%. Like this first step is like the longest wait time for this process. And you'll see here, in a matter of a couple more seconds, we should be prompted to sign another transaction, and then I will receive the Wax that I just bought. And so even though I was only able to withdraw Ethereum or EOS from my exchange, I was still able to swap into Wax and get the Wax onto the Wax blockchain, from just my wallets, and with relative ease, I would say too. Like this wasn't that hard. I just told it I'm going from EOS to Wax, from this wallet that I signed in on EOS and this wallet that I signed in on Wax, and then I'm telling it, this is the token I want to do, and this is the amount. And now that we hit 100% here, and let's see, cooking all the way. Yeah, pool for blockchain transfer, yes. And then here we go. Now I'm being prompted. I don't know if it's showing the prompt again, but it's saying, the action is withdraw WA. So I'm doing for the IBC, from the IBC.EOS contract, I'm now submitting a withdraw transaction, and it is providing in that transaction the block proof that we just created on this bridge. So I signed that transaction. There you go, success. And now when I jump back over to my Wax wallet now, there you go. I now have 323. So I got my 7 Wax bridged over. And it's super simple to move back the other way too. I can just be like, okay, cool. This worked out. Now let me just reload the bridge page, and I can go the opposite direction. And if I wanted to, for example, like I was saying, there is a arbitrage to this, because right now on EOS, if I go to swap and I want to buy Wax tokens,
Raid NFT Gamer TV. We right now are showing off. Let me get my camera up so people can see me talking. We are showing off how to transfer money from.
Just talk about this. I'm just gonna do it. If there's an opportunity to make arbitrage, I'll just do it live on air, because we just got a Raiders, so you can actually see what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing right now is testing if there is an opportunity. This is EOS mainnet, you can see, and I'm on Alcor, right? And right now for $10 USDT on Alcor, I can buy 237 Wax. At the same time, on Wax mainnet, swap, I can purchase USDT. What was the number? 237. 237 Wax buys me. Here we go. It's thinking. And that's not correct. 9.97. So there is not an opportunity for me to do arbitrage right now. If this was more than 10, which it is saying it's worth 10.12, which, it would be nice if it actually was giving me 10.12 so I could actually make this swap and then do the trade. But it's not. Too bad. It also means that I bet you if I do USDT, Wax USDT, I'd probably get like 10.3 or something for this. Though Wax USDT is a little bit further from Peg. And you get such a good deal. Yeah, 10.9. Like, damn, let's go. That's a nice arbitrage. But of course, you'd have to bridge back to Ethereum, and Ethereum is not going to be as free. So what else I can try here, though, is EOS. Because EOS is now wrapped and trading on. So you can see I'm still on Wax. So check this out. Let's try just like 250 in Wax. That gets me 15.533, right? At the same time, 15.533 gets me not enough to make it worth my while. Which actually means, let's see, does that mean I can go the opposite direction? 250, 16.41. Okay, so if I got the 250 here, can I do 16.41? Is that going to give me more than 250? No. Yeah, people are all over the arbitrage here. But if that is, during high volatility times, these opportunities do start to exist, and it's really simple to move your funds from one blockchain to the next. And just to show it off, I'm going to do it because it is really simple, and we got a raid, so people might want to see how to do it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to decide, do I want to move Wax? Do I want to move here? So if I go to the bridge, here's the different tokens. I can use USDT, EOS, or Wax. So I got to decide which one to move. And since I'm moving over to EOS, I want some EOS, let's say. So on here, I could buy, 16.401 for 250 Wax. And then on the Wax blockchain, on the swap tab rather, how much was 250 getting me? Let's do some swapping into EOS. Let's see. 16. It's not quite 0.4, but it's not a big enough of a difference that I'm not like too upset by it. Let's do 16 EOS. Why not? So I'm going to start by swapping into some EOS on the Wax blockchain. So there we go. That swap has been made. And now check this out. It's super simple to move between these two blockchains. I have, this is EOS mainnet, and I can connect my wallet. I can use my Wombat EOS wallet. Currently, I'm using Anchor. This Anchor wallet I actually initially created on Wombat and then exported the private keys to re-import them into Anchor because I just like Anchor for the stuff I was doing. But you can see I've signed into this wallet, max collected. I have 0.34 Ethereum, EOS on this wallet. Now I'm going to go over to this bridge, and I'm going to say send from from Wax, and I'm going to connect my wallet. This is the wallet that my Wax wallet right now, the one that I just bought the EOS in. So here we go. I'm connecting that. And now that that's connected, I'm going to say to EOS. I want to move to EOS, and I'm going to connect my, you can use your Wombat to sign in here. Connect your EOS Wombat wallet. I'm connecting through my EOS Anchor wallet. So there you go. And you can see down below now, I'm signed into first.ftw on Wax, and I'm signed into max collected on EOS. Now I'm going to choose the token. I bought the EOS token, so I'm going to say EOS and say max, and it sees that I have 16 of those in my first.ftw wallet. So I'm going to say, great, send that as a transfer. It's prompting me to do a signature here, and you can check in the signature you're sending to ibc.wt.eos is the contract. So I'm going to sign that, and then it starts this countdown. And now once this hits 100%, the next one will come. It'll very quickly hit 100%. I'll have to sign one more time my transaction from the wallet to basically interact with the IBC contract one more time and release the funds after they've been, right now the transaction is sent and we're waiting for confirmation. So we can actually, let's see if we can actually see that confirmation transaction. So if we are on blocks, what has happened so far is, there you go. We have sent Oh, damn. That first FTW is just selling a bunch of shit right now, apparently. Here it is. On the EOS, that's the signature. I guess there's a bunch of like sales going through on my wallet. I should check what those are. But yeah, you can see I've already sent like the liquid wax I had in here. There's only 77 left. The 250 have already been sent, and they're waiting now to be confirmed by the IBC blockchain, which it's almost halfway done by this point. So I'm still just chilling. This honestly, if you're not used to doing inner blockchain operations, this can be the most nerve-wracking part of the process, because at this point my FTW wallet has sent the tokens. They're no longer in here. We just saw they're not in the wallet. See, 77 left, not the 300 that I had before, and they're not yet in my EOS wallet either. So they're basically, as far as I'm concerned, right now they're gone. Like, I have lost control of these tokens. And so what's happening now is they're confirming these sends. Once the send is confirmed, I will have a proof of send basically from the blockchain, and the next transaction will be me sending the IBC bridge protocol that proof to verify, hey, this is my wallet and here's proof. I've already sent it and this proves the confirmation. So that's what we're waiting for right now.
Chris here has a question. He says, how can a transaction be reversed?
Can it be reversed? If you have sent a transaction like this, there isn't like a cancel or like change your mind option. So the best way to do it would be like to revert it by sending it back through once this is ended.
Were you talking about the confirmations on blocks? I think that might be what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. So it could be reversed. The way that these can be reversed, you see how they have like this little clock. It says reversible transaction has not been confirmed by all the validators. So basically, the second you broadcast your transaction to the Wax blockchain, the validators, who are adding to the blockchain are starting to validate your block, and your transaction is part of, this block. And then as new blocks are validated, it becomes more and more secure effectively. Once all of the validators, all 21 active validators, have confirmed your transaction or have confirmed a block after your transaction was broadcasted, the transaction is considered immutable, because every block producer has agreed that this is not, that this is the correct order of transactions to add to the blockchain. A transaction is reversible before that happens, in the sense that you can broadcast a spend transaction of the same tokens a second time, and if 21 block producers confirm that spend before the previous spend becomes reversed, and the spend that was actually confirmed fully becomes the real spend. So there is a risk of, if you're making, for example, an over-the-counter trade with somebody and they're offering to send you an amount of wax in exchange for whatever, you should then wait for your wax to be, confirmed irreversible, because if you could see the wax hit your wallet and, hand over whatever it is you're going to hand over, and then like 30-40 seconds later the wax can disappear from your wallet again because the transaction was removed, because the string of new transactions that the block producers have confirmed have invalidated it, because hey, there was actually another spend and you can't double spend. So
that's very it doesn't happen very often, but it's technically possible.
Heavy thing, but it is possible. You can, with 100 wax in your wallet, you can broadcast sending 100 wax to 100 different people. Only one of those transactions will actually go through. 99 of them will drop, but you can make it look like 99 wallets got 100 wax for about 20 seconds or so. And so there is especially when it comes to like quick turnaround kind of stuff, like when you're swapping tokens on Alcor, you're not trying to wait for this confirmation every time. So there are ways that Alcor swaps will be more secure, quicker, but when you're doing something like cross blockchain movement, you have to wait for this finality. And that's why, oh, here we go, accept a fee. I can't do free transactions right now. It's weird because I staked to this wallet. Either way, I have to sign this transaction and then success. And that's why we had to wait for that. It's because we have to make the blockchain, the IBC protocol, the inner blockchain bridge here has to be certain that the transaction of wax or whatever token we're sending between blockchains cannot be reverted. And so they won't release these funds until that confirmation is in, which is why we had to sign that second transaction and be like, hey, it's final, here's the proof. And then we got our funds released. So now you can see I'm at 16.7 EOS here in my max collected wallet, which now I could
Doomy is asking, one of the upgrades coming will make it finalized faster, right? I thought I read that at some point. That I'm actually not totally familiar with, but I would like to know if that's something they're working on. So that'd be something that like the Wax governance channel would know. That's where they kind of talk about like upgrades to the Wax ecosystem, and that's kind of where all the blockchain producers and the OIG hang out. And they, to be honest, about 90% of the stuff they talk about in that channel goes right over my head. It gets super technical. So that might have been discussed there. I'm not familiar with it, but that'd be exciting if it is, because
we're working on a 2-second finality. So this process that normally takes, what is it, a minute and a half or something? Like here, 160 seconds. So over 2 minutes. This process is being made into a 2-second process.
Okay, so they are working on that, making it faster.
Yeah, they have been working on adjusting that. What is selling in this wallet? Hold on 1 second. It's like I still have like pending transactions.
Also, today was Funko Day. If anybody missed it, I think it was it the collection, the clown. I also think it didn't sell out. This is one of the first Funkos to not sell out in a while, and I did hear people said the supply looked a little high for the collection.
Let's see what's selling from my wallet. Oh, hell yeah, a bunch of this stuff. This has been listed forever. It's just eating up my RAM, so take it. I don't even know what's going on with it.
Something happening to Graffiti Kings?
Must be. I don't know. These are selling like hotcakes right now.
I know Darren abandoned the chain like 6 months ago, the guy who created the collection, but it did get taken over by Moonster Vision, which, I mean, shout out for him for like taking care of a collection that somebody just completely abandoned, but also like it doesn't feel good for me to even try to keep supporting that since like the original creator just like totally fucked off. I'm like, I feel like you should be helping a collection with people still building on Wax, not like building a collection for someone that abandoned the chain. But also, like, I can't say it's a bad thing to give back to the community. Like, he's working super hard to make sure the community doesn't get boned. So good for Moonster Vision for actually, following through on something that the guy who pitched wouldn't follow through on.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I'm not hurting from that. I like that. I also have way too much of this stuff. So
I think it works in a Telegram game, but I'm also not super interested in Telegram games, so I haven't even tried it.
Yeah, I listed it all so long ago. Let's see. I'm just happy to see some of it get cleared out of my wallet.
Uga says he has a bunch of other R2 stuff. Yeah, R2 definitely kind of just was like, they're like, yeah, we made a staking platform. You're going to stake and then you're able to use the buy stuff with it. And they just didn't do any of that. They're just like, oh, never mind. Like, we lost our dev and we're just not going to do this anymore. Like, hope you guys are happy with nothing. Last I checked, they hadn't answered the Discord in weeks, and people were tagging the team. They're like, hey, man, like, what's going on with this, and this? Radio silence for 3 weeks. So I just left the Discord. It's like, why am I even in here? Like, the team running this project won't even answer questions here.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, that's kind of like the long and short of how to move between these chains. That's really, really simple. I mean, you see now I have 16 EOS. I could send this to my any centralized exchange that trades in EOS, and then I could cash out that way. And I've done it with, with Wax, from Wax into EOS, kind of just using their IBC bridge protocol. It's super, super straightforward at this point. It's still in beta, so be careful. And I would say, like, kind of don't do what I was doing, where I was going on to different tabs and stuff while I was waiting for the confirmations. If you're using this for the first time, just wait. Let it like run its course. It's going to take maybe like a minute or two. So you can wait and have the peace of mind of like it not getting lost. Like when I toggled back to my screen, it was like, hey, this transaction needs a fee. Like I prefer to stay there and know that immediately. But yeah, now that I have it, and like you're asking if you wanted to reverse it, you could literally just reverse it simply by going back the other way, because there is no fee for using this transaction or for using this bridge. I could just now send my EOS back to the Wax chain and then swap it into Wax on Wax, or I could, in the swap on the EOS blockchain here, I could swap my EOS into Wax and then bridge the Wax back over. And so since I did 250, this is 252, but I also had a little bit of Wax in this, or EOS in this wallet still. So maybe I would wait until this, maybe the EOS comes up and the Wax comes down a little bit, and hey, I can do that. Or you can even, add liquidity into these liquidity pools and earn from people trading both EOS and Wax, or Wax and EOS if you're doing the same pool on the Wax mainnet. But yeah, this is a really, really cool way to move money into and out of Wax. I actually really like. I've been doing it with USDT. Like I said, there's native USDT on EOS, and then I'll bridge the USDT over, and it's like an instant arbitrage, because let's say I bring over like $10 in USDT, it comes over as this USDT token, and then I just swap that into the Wax team back to USDT token, the one that the Wax team has the bridge for. And if I swap over $10, immediately I can make almost $1 by swapping into this. And then I'll just sit on this for a while. Personally, I'm kind of farming this liquidity. I'm in this liquidity.
Live updating said I managed to buy EOS for the first time, add resources to my wallet, swap to Wax, and then bridge to Wax. I give it a big thumbs up. So cool. I'm glad that helped. That was the person I was trying to help on Telegram that you walked through. So cool to see it live working for people.
Yeah, it
Walter
works.
also has a question here. He says, did you talk about IMX being on Atomic Hub now? We've talked about the partnership in the past, but we haven't actually live checked it out yet.
Yeah,
Chris V asks, can you back a NFT with Wax on Blocks? One thing I'll say about this is you really should stop using Blocks. Blocks stopped updating Wax support. They tried to blackmail the Wax team and the OIG into paying them 150,000 Wax a month to keep using it. So Wax was like, go fuck yourself, and made Wax Block. So now Blocks is not even supported on Wax anymore, and has not been for a while. I think a couple days ago was the cutoff of when they just stopped supporting it. So at any point, Blocks could just fail and not work anymore. So I would try to get used to using a different blockchain explorer. And I also think Alcor made it so you can back an NFT with Wax. I think Alcor added that into their platform. So that would be where I go for NFT backing. But go to the NFT section and see if I'm right about that. Yeah, I think they also have a thing that shows you all of your backed NFTs, somehow.
Let's see. I haven't actually tried this one. Here's my wallet. Here's my NFTs. And then you can go to more. Create gift link, transfer, burn.
What if you click details? I thought I saw Zuler said it works here, but I haven't actually tried it. Back tokens. There you go.
Back tokens. Yeah, so you can add tokens with tokens. Okay.
So my suggestion is use Alcor. They're still currently building on Wax. At any point in time, Blocks could just stop working. So I would say get used to using Wax Block, or EOS Authority is one of my favorite blockchain explorers on Wax, but Blocks is probably going to go away sometime in the next 6 months since nobody's paying them to host Wax stuff.
Here's Wax Blocks. This is the one where we were looking at in the beginning.
This one isn't quite as good. They don't have everything I need. EOS Authority, I honestly think, is the best. It's better than Blocks.io as far as it has a. EOS Authority has. Here, let me get my camera on. It has the tracing of the transactions for Wax Detective is built into EOS Authority, and it's actually better. I've been able to find multi-counters through EOS Authority that don't show up on Wax Detective. EOS Authority has very good ability to read stuff. And for the longest time, Blocks would tell you a token with over 1 billion supply cap just had infinite, which is just not true. It couldn't read the token contracts correctly. EOS Authority always did it correctly. Same with creating a wallet. It would say created by, and then it just won't tell you who created the wallet on Blocks.io. EOS Authority can always track who created the wallet, the source of the wallet. So EOS Authority I've been using for a long time over Blocks, but I also still use Blocks just out of habit because it's the one we all started using. But I would say try to become familiar with other ones, because Wax.blocks.io is probably not going to exist forever.
I'm trying to see. There is definitely a way to do it through the Explorer too, though. So
Yeah,
let's
no
see.
security updates at blocks too. So like you might get your wallet compromised at some point for signing into blocks. So like I don't know what they're gonna do with that site. And they seem to be pretty malicious. They were blackmailing Wax, so who knows if they just start fucking scamming us. Like I would stay away from blocks for like logging in with your wallet. It's fine to just check the transactions and stuff, but I wouldn't even sign into blocks at this point. Oh, you can't even sign in anymore. Never mind then.
Yeah. Let's see. Here, I'm trying to figure it out on blocks.
Wax
See if
block.
I can find this. Okay, here you go. Atomic Assets is the contract you would want to access for any NFT thing, as long as the NFT is an atomic asset. Then you could come down here to contract tables. I would say atomic asset. No, probably not this. Wait, let's see. I know how to do this on blocks. I'm trying to figure out how to do it on this Explorer. Contract actions. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. And then you'd be looking for like back or announce backing or something like that. And see here, announce deposit. Here, you do this one. Double. Or is it? There's a back token. What is there's got to be one of these options here. It's going to be like the back token one. Oh, you're in my way. I can't see what's this token. Lock template. Like here, for example, this is also where, in case you still have your, you haven't done a max mint number on an asset, you could lock the template here. Basket. But yeah, this is how you do everything on through blocks. If there is a way to do it any other way, it is also doable this way. And the way to do it is you basically look for the smart contract transaction here. So Atomic Assets is the name of this smart contract. And you come down here to the contract actions. And then you could find, like whatever it is that you're trying to do. And you might have to, it might be like it might be a conjunction of a couple of these. It might be like an announce deposit, and then it might also be like a transfer or like a secondary thing. But this is how you would do that. It's the same on blocks or anywhere else. You're always just searching the contract and you find contract actions, and you can go like deep into what is possible on these contracts. It's actually kind of relatively user friendly compared to how much more difficult this would be on another blockchain. So it's kind of cool. You can see all the different like interaction like abilities that the smart contract has. And again, this works for anything. So like if you can't sign into Novo Pangea, you can go to their smart contract and you can, find the stake action or like whatever unstake, and you can do it without using their website, which I had to do the other day. So it's kind of nice to know that this is an option. I guess the last thing we should do is also jump into our liquidity and see how we've done last week. So I'm going to do that really quick here too. First things first, I think we had a liquidity pool going. Log out. Let's take a look at our DeFi wallet, our 100 Wax. Last week we had we basically looked at we opened a Wax USDT Wax pool, and we're hoping for the price of Wax to fall and buy us back into dollars. But I don't think the price of Wax fell at all. Oops, and I sent into the wrong wallet. So let me find that. Too many wallets on here. This one is. See. Oh, okay, there it is. Here we go. Signing in. Sorry that got like sidetracked here. Couldn't find my wallet. Okay. And then here's our position. You can see, just like I kind of expected, because the price of Wax started to climb last week, none of our position fell into range. So we can see here, if we go even closer, we would have been in range if the price came up a little bit further, and it did not. So we were looking to sell our wax at between 4.7 and 5.2. And just like last week or earlier when we were looking at the charts, I was thinking, we probably have room to like 5, between 4 and 5 is kind of where we're trading. So let's take a look at the wax price right now, because our bottom is 4.7, and right now it's 4.2. So we're trying to like sell at a little bit higher than we currently have our spot price. And before we just leave this alone for a whole week and possibly don't get any more action on this, we can expand this range to be closer to the spot price. Since right now we're at 0.47, but the spot price is 0.45, I think what we should do is keep this wax, like trying to sell the wax as US dollars on the way up, but we should include this little sliver of liquidity range between where we currently are and where the current spot price is. So to do that, I'm just going to remove this liquidity, even though it never came into range for us this last week, and that's okay. It just means that we kept all of our wax, and that's fine. Like, no harm, no foul. And then before I do the rest of that, let me check also on Taco Swap. On Taco Swap, we still have our Wombat liquidity. I believe we heard that Wombat liquidity was going to be renewed and the rewards would continue for another month, I believe. So let's take a look. If we look at our staked, and yeah, more than a month, 84 days, wonderful. So we don't have to move out of this week. And let's take a look at how it's done. 83. So we're actually climbing on the wax side of this. This is kind of like great all around. I'm happy with how this is playing out. And so part of what I want to do this week is just let's compound further into the Wombat pool with our rewards. So before creating the next liquidity position with just the wax for the Wax USDT, I'm going to claim our Wombat rewards. And then I'm going to use the existing wax in this wallet as the counterpart to adding these to the Wombat pool as well. So let's do that. I'm signing the transaction to claim. Rewards have been claimed. Then I'm going to click on the liquidity tab on Taco Swap. We just saw in the meal tab here, if we go to staked, we have 84 days worth of runway in this pool. Again, I'm a big fan of what Wombat has done as far as making it really simple. Like you saw when I did the blockchain bridging stuff, the wallet I was using for EOS, I used Wombat to make that. They make it really simple to kind of like consolidate all your EOS IO activity into one app. I really like that. So I'm still a big fan of Wombat. I think I want to stay in here, and what I want to do is also add. So like I said, we have 84 days left to reconsider this. In the meantime, we'll be making 99% APR. That's fantastic. So let's add what we just earned last week. And we're going to do that like this by just adding the Wombat and letting pay the counterpart from our wallet. So we're putting up 3.4 wax further from our wallet into this liquidity pool. And I'm happy with that. So let's do that. Basically just compounding what we earned and adding a counterpart further. So we're actually getting pretty deep into this liquidity pool. Considering we started this entire wallet with only 100 wax, there's 160, 172, 173 wax worth of liquidity in this liquidity pool right now. So we have 173 wax in the pool and another 170 wax just chilling outside of the pool. So I'm pretty happy with the way that we've been able to grow our wax by just doing these types of DeFi positions. I'm going to stay in this Wombat pool, and I'm going to poke around this meal pool really quick and see if there's anything else worth aping into. I'm going to leave the organization sort by as highest liquidity. That's generally speaking a pretty good litmus test for, stable positions versus volatile positions. The deeper liquidity is, the less volatile something should become. It's not always true, but it's nice to see quite a few of these. So like very clearly the deepest liquidity and highest APR we're already participating in. This is definitely the front runner for yield farming on Taco Swap, in my opinion. We also have the Taco pool, but 35% is, a third of what we're making on Wombat. So it's hard to justify this for me when we can make so much more. I also like NFTV tokens. But again, it's like we're outperforming that here. So right now I'm just going to stick in the Wombat pool. And then the only thing that could really pull me out of that pool would be seeing one of these positions with significantly higher APR. 126 is higher, but I'm unfamiliar with this pool. And we're only at 6 days on these rewards and only 1 day left for this taco reward. So you can see this is unlikely to stay that high for the full week that we would be committing to it. So this is a pass as well. And nothing else is really jumping out at me with very high liquidity that I'm or APR that I'm also familiar with, except for CMW. This I don't actually hate. Like CMW, almost 200% APR. And let's take a look at the CMW price chart. It's gonna be most visible over on DeFi Box because that is where the liquidity pool for CMW started. So I'm gonna jump over to DeFi Box really quick and take a look at how this token has been doing for the past few weeks and see if it's like relatively flatlining or even if it's climbing a bit, we might be able to justify jumping into this pool a little bit, considering almost 200% APR. So let's let this load. I'm going to refresh. And yeah, it did actually refresh. Oh, okay. Hello. We're going to the 1 day. Yeah, look at this. Climbing.
It's pumping just for the rewards, probably, right?
Probably, yeah. This is pumping, but it's not even back to like where we first bounced here. So it's got a little like, it's been flatlining for a long time. I guess I can also use indicators here. So I'm curious to see stuff like the on balance volume for something like this. I want to see it climb along. Yeah, look at this. So you have the on balance volume reaching a level above, what we saw here. Let's zoom out a little. Look at this on balance volume dramatically coming back into this and pushing us above where we are here, whereas where we are here the price is still way higher. So we have a aggressive climb in on balance volume, which isn't counterparted by the aggressive climb in price action. This is an indication of accumulation or a breakout potential. So this is still like looking attractive to me. Let's take a look at the other metrics I like to look at would be like the SRSI to see if we're approaching overbought, oversold, or if we still have plenty of room here. And so this is the SRSI. We were overbought for quite a while, and then we've cooled down. It's interesting. We've cooled down quite a bit on the RSI, even though we continued our climb. Kind of a bullish sign there. And then the last thing I could do here is add like the, let's do like the Bollinger Band and take a look at that. So you can see on our way down here, always below that middle line, very rarely pumping above it, but then immediately pushing back down below it, below. Still a couple days here above, but not much before just getting rejected. And here we've started to kind of like flip it again and then aggressively move up after the flip, which is nice. And then here you can see like as the volatility kind of like wicking down, it's still never even wicking below that middle line. Pretty bullish. So this token looking pretty bullish. Let's take some of our wax from our wax USDC or from our wax that we were just going to use here in the wax USDT position. Let's take some of that and just buy some CMW with it. Since CMW liquidity is going to be split between this pool and Taco Pool, this is a perfect candidate for wax on edge. So
I feel like we should also mention, this is not financial advice. This is an experiment we've been doing for a little over a year where we took 100 wax and tried to turn it into more than 100 wax, but we're not necessarily suggesting you should follow our moves, but we do like to be openly transparent because we'd like to show you what's possible and how you can do it, but there is no guarantee you're going to make money on any of these moves. Like, it could go the other way. You could always lose money, so just because we're on screen talking and we've done it successfully for a long time doesn't mean you should blindly follow us and throw your life savings into it. Just got to disclose that.
Because just because the last 10 moves were profitable doesn't mean the 11th move will be. just keeping all that in mind, of course. But yeah, it isn't financial advice. It is just to kind of like give insight into what when I'm making my liquidity positions. This is a big part of what I'm looking for. And so I'm just kind of like giving a running commentary onto what my decision making process is for what I want to do with the wax in this wallet. And so right now, what I'm going to do is take some of the wax and I'm going to add it to that liquidity pool. You can see we have 170 liquid. Let's do 100 of that into CMW wax, meaning that I need 50 wax worth of CMW. So using Wax on Edge.
Thank you for the follow.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Gabriel Alves.
What do you say?
I said I was just thanking the follower. We got a new follower.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. So using Wax on Edge, I can tell it I want to use 50 wax to buy CMW, and it's going to split my purchase between both of those liquidity pools. So it's going to do 78% through DeFi Box and 21% through Taco Swap. Because it's only splitting my two between a direct liquidity line, this doesn't actually cost me anything more than if I went manually and did these trades on those platforms. So you can see here the fee for this is actually free. This is great. This is a better deal. Basically what this is a better deal than I can get on both DeFi Box or Taco Swap. And I can actually prove that right now. You can see I'm getting 322.589 for this swap. If I instead were to be like, I'm just going to swap over on Taco Swap. And then if I swapped my 50 wax into CMW here, CMW, you'll see it will be less, 320.11. And what was I getting over here? 322, so significantly less. And then if I do the entire transaction instead on DeFi Box, it would do CMW. And if I did 50 wax here, 22.38. And what were we getting? 22.58. So we're still getting a better deal on Wax on Edge than we would at either of the pools it's going through, and it's doing that by giving us the best deal all the way up until we get a worse deal, and then it's splitting the rest of it and giving us this deal. So let's do that. Nice. We know now that we know we got the best price here. All right, so I've bought 50 wax worth of CMW token, and I'm going to pair that now on Taco Swap with 50 wax, just regular wax. So I'm going to go to meal, and then I need to find, this time I'm going to go highest APR. I feel like that was one of the higher APR pools. It should come up pretty soon. Oh, lowest. Whoops, that's probably why it's not coming up. Highest APR. 5.8, damn. Here, look at this one. 5,000. I think I would do this if I already had these tokens, but I feel like there's no way I can source these tokens for a reasonable price. And again, I want to do something with deeper liquidity. So that is going to be CMW wax. So I'm going to come here, say add. There's my credit metaverse, and this is the counterpart, the 50 wax I wanted to put up. I'm going to say yes, sign, and that's that for Taco Swap for this week. So this week in Taco Swap, we're going to keep basically 100 wax worth of liquidity in CMW, and like 170 wax, 172 wax worth of liquidity in this pool. These will both be paying us mining rewards. So you can see here, this is at almost 100%. This is at 187. And now we are actually top 10 liquidity providers on this token. So yeah, let's go. Nice. So that's all I want to do here. But now I do still have my 70-something wax left over from last week that didn't get used. So what I'm going to do with that is the same thing we did last week. So I'm going to say new liquidity position, and I want to use this with USDT as the counterpart. I don't have any USDT. I only have wax, and I only want to sell my wax into USDT at a higher price than currently. So I'm going to move my red line here to be at a little bit above.
Prince X Phoenix is also saying that Novo added some NFTs to the Novo wax pool. There's lands and stuff in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if you're into that, could be worth providing liquidity to try to unlock some NFTs.
Yeah, I'll show that where that is in a second here. So
I
here's what
also
I'm
got an
gonna.
update on the Funko situation. They said they were going to burn the supply of Funko if it did not sell out by 2 p.m., but then it actually did sell out by 2 p.m. So the current Funko sale did sell out, but it was getting close to not selling out, which is the first time in a while that's happened.
Here we go. So here's what I'm doing for this week for our hedge. Basically, I'm taking our wax and we'll sell it starting at 4.23 cents, where we're currently at 4.22 cents. So just outside of the current spot price, we'll start selling and we'll finish selling if the wax price climbs to 5.6 cents. By the time we get to 5.6 cents, 100% of this wax will be USDT. So there we go. I'm going to create this position. I don't need to put up any USDT because I'm outside of the current price range for USDT. And so you can see if I were to, for example, include the price range, then I would have to supply USDT liquidity as well. But I'm not going to. So this way I can only supply my wax. Now, if the price of wax starts to climb during the week, great. We'll be selling our wax on the way up and earning some trade fees. If the wax price keeps falling, this liquidity position will stay out of range all week and we won't lose any of the wax we have in it. So you can see here it's currently out of range, 71.44 wax, and we've earned nothing. And hopefully the price of wax comes up a bit and then comes down a bit, and by the time we check on this pool next week, we'll hopefully have still around the same amount of wax and have earned some fees, or the price of wax will have climbed and we'll have sold ours into USDT, and we'll be able to decide where to target buyback, and we can create this same liquidity position in the opposite direction to buy back the wax like we did 2 weeks ago. So this is going to be the wrap on what I want to do this week with our 100 wax investment. So we've put the 71 wax into the liquidity pool here, looking to sell it into USDT as the price of wax potentially climbs to retest the top limit from a few weeks ago. And then at the same time, we're in the taco swap pool. We're farming yield or liquidity mining rewards for Wombat wax and for CMW wax.
Do you want to show off the NFT pool for Nova Pangea?
Yeah. Okay. And then what Prince X Phoenix was just saying, if I go to all, I think there's a no.
I think you got to go to the NFT tab to the right of Meal.
And there's no Anovo incentives other than the NFT ones. So if you come up here, there should be no. Yeah, there it is. So there's a Novo pool, and they're giving away. What are they giving away? Oh, damn. There's a few lands. The Space Realm building. Oh, and there's 3 of the land. Damn. That's pretty cool. So you can, instead of Novo Pangea incentivizing the Novo token by diluting the Novo token supply and, pumping more Novo tokens out, they are offering people who supply liquidity to this pool the chance to win one of these NFTs. So it's basically like adding liquidity to this pool is similar to like a raffle entry. So you'd be exposed obviously to the price action between Novo token and wax, but you would potentially be you'd be in the running to winning from this prize pool of NFTs. And there's 7 of them being handed out each day. Oh, and there's a buttload in the pool. Hold on, let's see if we can go deeper into these.
There's 191 in the pool, it says, so that'll go for
there's
at
like
least
buildings.
20, 30 days.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's also like common, so not lands aren't like, because I was gonna say lands and buildings and stuff. Those are some pretty solid wins, but it looks like you can also win like just common NFTs from the story, which is still
Those
cool.
are still
but
good for creator credits, and that can get you a land eventually.
Exactly, you can eventually get those, but it'll take like 10 of those to get into a land. Oh,
actually, I'm not sure if the lands are still buyable, but you can buy like skilled workers and stuff. There's stuff you can get with the creator credits.
Ooh, an unskilled worker? What is that?
Maybe you get to choose which faction it goes to, or it works in all factions. I don't know.
Interesting. I don't have any of those. But I might add some liquidity just to like potentially get one. There's 51 of them, so I might win one. And it'll be weighted basically, so the more liquidity you have, the more likely you are to win, but you can win these even without being like the top dog.
Yeah, it's just so like you get more raffle tickets. It's like the more liquidity you have, the more raffle tickets, but you can still win with one raffle ticket. Just because somebody bought 100 doesn't mean they automatically win. So it's RNG.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping I would see them in the meal pool, because then in the meal pool you can actually click the list and see what the like other raffle
Okay.
entries are.
Mocha says all realms, but with limit claims 14 claims. So it can only do it 14 total times. It's like a expiration date. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, interesting. Huh. I wonder how. I mean, couldn't you then just like move your stuff to another wallet after?
I would imagine it's like a mutable attribute, and you run out, and then when it's at 0, it doesn't work anymore. It's for
Okay.
onboarding. That's what he's saying. It's for like letting new people
Pretty
try the
cool.
game, and then if they
I
like it, they
do.
can go buy a worker that has infinite uses.
Oh, that's what the non-skilled workers are. I see.
And then he says, nope, you can't unstake them after the first claim. So once you use them, they're bound to your account.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty cool though. Still, I also really like this. First of all, I want to like kind of give my own impression on this. I really like this as a concept for projects to be able to incentivize liquidity of their token economies without forcing them to, devalue their token economy by, you know, pushing new tokens into circulation as block rewards or as yield rewards. And offering something like this to token and project creators is an innovative thing that Taco Swap is doing. Like, I have not seen a liquidity yield reward farm that pays out NFT incentives that are, crowdsourced by NFT creators. That is kind of unique to Taco Swap as far as what I've seen in the rest of like the DeFi scene. So this is really cool. Shout out to Taco Swap for keeping on the innovative train, not just copy pasting and implementing shit that everyone has done, but also coming up with some conceptually like new and innovative things. This is really really a
It's
cool
also
idea.
something that's like massively paywalled by like Alien Worlds and stuff to like
Yeah,
distribute NFTs to people who support your
yeah,
project. So like being able to do that through liquidity directly without like costing an arm and leg for creators is pretty fantastic.
yeah, exactly. Like we could almost do like, I mean, I'd like to move our liquidity to Alcor so we could do the targeted liquidity and make it much more functional. But if we moved our liquidity to Taco Swap, we could use this to incentivize the pools automatically by dropping, blend token NFTs instead of blend token uh, just neon currency. It's basically the same thing. So for our own pool, this could be like a way to automate that process too. But it wouldn't be, fairly distributing it to everybody participating along lines of their contribution, which is what I'm trying to do. So not quite, but yeah, it's a really cool. It's an innovation that I haven't like seen elsewhere. It's definitely something that makes a lot of sense for projects like Novo Token, and I like to see that Novo Token is dropping a liquidity pool on Taco Swap that isn't adding more emissions to their Novo currency. And the way that they're able to do that is, by supplying some incentives with NFT rewards. And I'm pretty excited by the NFT rewards you can earn in this. So like I said, I might be on board just to take a couple hundred of my Novo tokens and just add them to this liquidity pool and see if I get lucky. It's kind of cool.
I'm quickly going to flip over to my screen. I just wanted to show off the Funko drop today, and then
Yeah,
Princess
that's it.
Phoenix sent us something to give away that is time sensitive, so I'm going to give that away on stream today.
Yeah.
It's from the like Atomic Cup game thing happening this week, so you probably need it to redeem something within the end of the week. So, but this is
Gotcha.
the it. If you know, people have been around in Neon Space know I do not like clowns and I don't like horror stuff. So combined, this is about the worst possible thing for me. It is actually the reason I don't like clowns, probably because it terrified me as a child. The scene where he fucking crawls out of the shower, I was just like, I used to be afraid to close my eyes in the shower because I thought fucking clowns were gonna crawl out of the drain every time. I was like, the second I should close
Um,
my eyes, I'm gonna open it. There's gonna be a fucking clown in front of me, which has never happened yet, but it still could. I don't know.
like that shower scene is the reason I don't take showers.
I haven't taken a shower since then, but yeah. So this is a childhood trauma for me. But if you like it just dropped, just dropped on Wax, and it got close to not selling out, but it did actually sell out. So let's see. Let's look at the
Yeah.
redeemables.
They were like you said. They said they were going to burn the excess supply. I think that's always a good move. I do like that they're not like letting it sit forever or whatever.
So Pennywise defeated is the Grail with 999. You got Henry Bowers just dripping in blood. He's
Damn. Okay.
just a regular. And they got
Is he the guy
Leper
in the raincoat?
in the what?
Is he like the little kid in the raincoat who like chases the paper? Who is that character?
I haven't seen the movies because I don't like this series, so
Yeah,
I
that makes
don't
sense.
know. I like this guy though, Lumberjack. He looks creepy. I'm a fan of Lumberjack Chic. This guy looks like. Are there more monsters than Pennywise in the It universe?
I think Pennywise like is a bunch of different monsters. Like the
Oh, so
clown is
he like
one
Freddy
forms.
Krueger's his way into like other shit. I guess Freddy Krueger doesn't
I don't
morph into
remember,
other things. I don't know why I said
I
that,
don't
but
remember a Freddy Krueger, but I do know that
that was a
Pennywise
bad
has a couple
analogy.
different forms.
Okay, this is pretty sick though. The Freddy Funko set bonus where he's
Oh,
like
okay, yeah,
painting his face with blood. I actually kind of like that. That's a savage Freddy. Freddy usually looks pretty wimpy. This is the scariest Freddy I've ever seen, so I kind of like this
yeah,
Freddy.
that's a pretty good Freddy.
Let's see what's doing on the aftermarket since we know it's sold out.
I think this is going to be a good one for like Redemption Day scooping. I think this is not going to have a huge amount of digital collectors trying to keep the royalty set, and I feel like I'm going to be able to scoop a royalty set for like under $10.
We always like to check. Our first thing to look at is the pack prices. Are they above drop? And they usually are if they sell out, so it is. Then you look at the ripped. So like almost half of these have been ripped already on day one. That's good rip
That's a good
numbers.
sign.
Like bad rip numbers would be like 5,000 or less, and especially on the standard packs because the big packs have better rip numbers like almost always. So let's look at the premium. Premium has 15K burned out of 21K. This is people are opening these packs. That's good. You want collectors
Yeah,
to be opening packs. It's a bad drop when like everybody's just trying to flip them and nobody's opening them because that means that collectors didn't actually get to buy them and flippers won. So like the
I feel
fact
like
that people
part
are
of
opening
the
them,
win here is that the ultimate chase is probably the fucking royalty bonus, right? The Freddy is, in my opinion, the Freddy is the big chase here.
yeah. Let's see what the legendaries. $30. That's about right for like the redeemables. It's a little
Yeah,
less than the adventure times we're selling for, but like 30, $40 for the legendaries and not the grails is right. And the
is,
grail is usually over $100. If you can get a grail for under
were you
100, that's
saying,
like not
is
a.
Mocha Twitcher? Were you saying that you thought the monster, the Funko monster, would look like me? Because that's not cool. I'm not I'm not a monster.
That's a hate crime. Let's see the grail. The grail's
I feel
selling
like
for
there's not a lot.
240.
There's
So
not a
this
lot
is
of good scenarios here. It's either the monster or the clown.
this one is desirable. Like $240. That's like the Batman level grail. That's
Wow,
expensive.
yeah, damn.
So this is a desirable one. So far, stay one. We're also not Pop and Stock. Pop and Stock would have the real analysis. Like I
Okay.
was like hoping Pop and Stock was in here so I could ask him how many packs they're gonna end up burning because he always pops in and he's like, oh, like this many sold, this many will be burned. That means there'll actually be this many pulled instead of 999 since they won't get pulled. But yeah, I'm not as good at the
Yeah,
Funko analytics as
he
the
always got the
Pop and Stock.
he always got the insight.
But I just like showing it off because it's one of the most relevant collectibles on Wax, and I like just keeping tabs of how they're doing. And I just find it interesting
Yeah.
because I don't really collect Funko, so I don't know what's going to do well. So it's always like a surprise to me how well they're selling. And I'd say this is selling better than I expected. I wouldn't expect this series
Yeah.
to sell as well as like some of the other ones, but it's
I'm
doing pretty good
surprised.
so far on day one.
I wait like tomorrow. I feel like is always the big like the 24 hours after. I feel like you can usually get a nice dip in packs.
$11 is not bad either if you're trying to rip
$11
packs.
is a decent.
Like with the service charges, that's sort of what it ends up costing anyway because you have to pay like
I
a little bit
also
extra on your credit card.
the last Funko pack I ripped was pure fire. I mean, I did it live on stream.
Yeah, you got a Grail and a Legendary in the same pack. That's
Yeah,
probably the best
yeah.
pack I've ever seen. Like,
I've
I mean, it's
that was insane.
really in person, but
It almost
even
makes me not
screenshots,
wanna-
you don't see that.
It makes me almost not want to like rip another pack just because there's no way it's gonna be as good. Like I've been to the top of the mountain now.
It's also on like your favorite fucking of the
Yeah,
series for like.
on the property I really like too. I was just yeah.
Let's see.
it's
So I want to give this away real quick before I forget. This is for the Atomic Hub Game Fest that's happening. This was sent to us by Princess Phoenix, which I also wanted to shout out the Spicy Phoenix venue, which is in the Taco Brigade game. This is totally free. It's a clicker. It's Taco's clicker, but you can play for free. And Princess Phoenix puts NFTs inside of her venue, so like you can potentially, even if you don't earn a ton of shing by playing for free, you're still kind of getting a raffle ticket each time you mine to potentially win a NFT. So I think she even puts Funko stuff in there every once in a while, so you can win NFT. So if you're into the clickers and stuff, like why not? I think you can do it like once an hour. I don't really keep up with it, to be honest, but whenever I remember, it's fun to just sign in and do one. I'll do one right now.
Oh.
There's also a new I don't know if you still have your Clash Dome stuff, but Princess Phoenix has been making mazes in the new game. It's actually pretty fun. It's a lot like Pac-Man.
Okay.
So you can design your own Pac-Man mazes.
I never sold any of my Clash Dome stuff. I still have all that.
I listed all mine, so it's unstaked. So I was having issues with like getting on the leaderboard and stuff. But apparently now you can like claim a free-to-play citizen if you want to just do it, not earn anything, and still work within it. But yeah.
I love my citizens and stuff. I'm not selling them.
If you want to try it, we could show it off if Princess wants to send a link to the maze. It was pretty fun. Like, I'm actually a fan of Pac-Man. I grew up playing Miss Pac-Man on Sega Genesis. Shout out to Miss Pac-Man. She's fire. And that game is 2 players, so I'd play it with my brother. You'd switch off. One of you would be Miss Pac-Man and one would be normal Pac-Man. So we really liked Pac-Man growing up. I don't really play that style arcade game anymore. I've also been busy doing other stuff the last week, but Max might be down to play it on stream after we do this giveaway.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Okay, so let's do some Grubfish. And this will be for the Atomic Cup Gem. To be honest, I'm not totally sure what you even use this for. I think you'll be able to blend this into something for the game event that's going on this week, but I haven't been on wax stuff at all yesterday. I was hanging out with my dad, so I don't know what's going on with the Atomic Cup Game Fest, but this has something to do with that. And worst case scenario, it sells for $1.65, so if you don't want to have to figure it out, you could just sell it. But thank you, Princess Phoenix, for sending it. We appreciate it. And this is courtesy of Princess Phoenix. So go ahead and not yet, I gotta type in the name. Hit ! Play if you'd like to join the giveaway for this Atomic Cup Gem. The gem is for Encryptia. Okay, and I think Encryptia is on Sunday, right? I think that's the day that Encryptia is doing stuff. No, it's live. You have to stake the gem. And okay, Encryptia, every damage you do counts for the AK. Oh, that's cool. So if you use this and you play Encryptia, it's like earning you towards the wax pool that is probably going to end on their day on Sunday. That makes sense to me now. So yeah, this is good for you if you want to play Taco Encryptia. But if you're not going to play Encryptia, it's not going to be very useful for you. And also it has an expiration date on Sunday, so I'm going to send it today after the stream. I have some stuff from last week I didn't send yet, but I'll make sure to not send it 3 weeks from now or it's totally useless. Send it to y'all next week when it's no longer functional. Also, y'all are joining. I don't have the screen pulled up, so it doesn't load. There we go. If I highlight the browser, then it loads, which is strange. I feel like there's something else I wanted to show off, but I can't remember. Oh, here's the EOS Authority. I like EOS Authority for Blockchain Explorer, and it has all of them, so you can do EOS, Talos, Wax, or FIO. It's a little buggy, like if you click Wax, sometimes it just won't load, and it'll go back to EOS. But I found if you go to the Wallet tab, and then like do Wax for whatever reason works better on this one. I like this one. Yeah. This is where I was saying it has Wax Detective, where like built into it, it has Wax Detective built in, so it's like better for checking for like multi-counters and stuff. And this works better than Wax Detective. Like it can track farther back. Wax Detective, I think the longest you can go back is 6 months to a year. This tracks from like the inception of the wallet, so it'll find transactions you literally can't pull up on Wax Detective, which is something I didn't realize for the longest time. Like people could be abusing our stuff as long as they didn't multi-count in like the last 6 months. Like it only shows up if you do it recently. And some people have like years old wallets that they were multi-counting on. So US Authority is sort of what's up for that. And then Wax Block is the official Wax sponsored one.
Yeah.
You can change the play before you start the game. I don't mind ! Play, to be honest. But yeah, I guess we could do like ! Neon or something, and that way people who are just not paying attention and typing it don't get in, but I don't mind the play. Oh, I also wanted to show off my brother's trying to get us to play a new game with him. And I haven't actually had a chance to look at it yet because, again, been hanging out with my dad all weekend. I haven't done any gaming stuff, but he's like, Battle Bit Remastered, it's called. I think it's like a cheap indie game, but it could be fun to play with the community if people are interested in it. He already bought it. I think it's like $10. Battle Bit Remastered. So I'm going to play this video, and while we're doing that, you can keep signing up for this giveaway. Is there a way I can see, like, a trailer?
What is this? This is the game Lance is into?
Yeah, he just sent me a link. I think it's on sale for like... It's $15 on Steam. He said he bought it and he wants to get a group to play it together. I honestly have no idea how it works, but let's watch the trailer. Oh, wait, official announcement trailer looks better. 11 days ago, it just came out. I think it's kind of like Battlefield, but it's like built within a Minecraft, like blocky. It's like a really indie first-person shooter. But it might also be like, I don't know. I have no idea what this is. Let's just watch it. Try to explain a game I haven't watched a trailer for is not a good idea. I think you can play the squads of up to 100 people, though. That's like the fun thing. So you can like have a shit ton of people rolling together on a team.
That's weird.
Okay, the scale of this already looks epic. If all of these people are on your team, like launching up in D-Day boats and helicopters, and you're like 100 real players about to go battle another 100 real players, your boy Lewis is in. This looks epic. Destructible environments. This is looking really cool already. Vehicles, destructible environments. I like that the guy had like the shield and there's a guy just crouching behind him, so you can like kind of have a tank and then a bunch of people with weapons, like tank as in like MMORPG tank, not the vehicle tank, but you can have someone block for you and then a whole crowd like crouching behind them and then like infiltrate a doorway. Like, I don't know, this looks sick.
Okay.
All right, so that's Battle Bit. June 15th, that was 5 days ago. Let's go to joinbattlebit.com. This is still open if anybody wants to try to win the Atomic Cup gem, which will help you earn if you play Cryptia, !play. Also, Cryptia is really fun. Like, if you can earn with this gem and play it, like, that's a pretty friggin' sweet thing. Makes me want to enter. It's 32 versus 32. 64 versus 64 or 127 versus 127. Hot damn.
Oh my god.
Land, sea, and air. There's different vehicles for different... Let's see recent updates.
Okay. I feel like that sounds pretty fucking cool.
I'm also like not... I don't care about really good graphics or anything. Like if the actual gameplay is solid, like I'm totally cool with these kind of like blocky graphics and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yes, give.neon is our gift wallet that we give stuff away from. Oh, Prime Rogue was asking. Mocha is right. It is give.neon.
Yeah.
Oh, you can send us some unskilled workers? Sure. Yeah, we're fine. We don't care that you work for them. Also, that's cool that you're working with Novo. It's always cool to see people that are active within the community joining projects and teaming up to make them better.
Yeah, that's
We're honestly probably going to end our stream pretty soon here. We've gone for 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I'm happy to give them away in a future stream.
Yeah.
I just need to get work. I need to do some audio engineering work. I have to master classical piano today. That's what I'll be doing after stream. I also really want to play a bunch of games. Like, I haven't done Blankos. I've missed all the rewards for the past couple of days. I haven't played Diablo in a couple of days. I haven't played like any of my games because I've been hanging with my dad. So, your boy's about to get nerdy tonight, but then I also have work to do first. So I'm gonna finish my work and then do that. But can't do
Yeah,
any
you
of
gotta
that
get
until
on
I
my
finish
Diablo.
streaming.
Get on my Diablo level.
Yeah, we might try that in the future. Somebody just let us know. We'll test it out next time. Thanks, Prime Rogue. We appreciate it. Also, I've been following all the drama in Telegram. Sucks that people are making fun of your personal appearance in a video about you trying to be OIG. I don't really want to get into it. It's reading all that was a headache for like 2 days straight. But like, I do want to say that people are out of line, like, and doing weird personal image attacks instead of like, I don't know, keep it to the content. Like people that make personal appearance attacks, it like discredits everything else they say because it's like, okay, well now I can't. Now I'm not going to take your argument seriously.
Yeah.
The last time I combed my beard, if you don't count with my fingers, I don't own a comb if it's not apparent from the way I look right now. If you guys want to know how I've been combing and grooming myself, it's been with the, I have like the razor, you know, like the heads you put on the shaver for like shaving, buzzing people's heads. I use those to brush my beard every once in a while to get the tangle out. So I use those. But yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to go to jury duty next week. So my plan is to look as gross as possible. I want to look like the Unabomber. So I show up and they're just like, get this guy fucking out of here. Like we cannot, based on how he just grooms himself, we cannot trust him to be in the jury. So next week I have jury duty. I might shave after that, but I'm planning on being real greasy for jury duty.
He has no peers.
All right, we got 14 people in here. Last call for exclamation point play if you'd like to win this Tomacup gem, which works in Encryptia. I'm kind of joking. I'm sort of unemployed right now, so like I actually have time to go do jury duty. So if they select me, I'll do it. I'll do my civil duty. I was joking. I'm just gonna go in there with like an Antifa shirt, like spray painted Antifa, and just be like ACAB, and then like get kicked out like immediately. But I don't know. I'll actually answer the questions honestly, and if I feel like I actually am pretty opinionated about cops and shit, and I probably will get disqualified if there's any sort of police shit in the case. Because
every time I've gone so far, I've gotten like I gotten a haircut, I got like put on like nicer clothes, and like never really made it to the jury selection. They always just dismiss us before, or they find people. I'm just too late in line. I always try my best. I've gone twice now, and never got to a court or been asked any questions other than like my name. So
yeah, I'm gonna live stream from Google Glass goggles. I'm gonna find the old extinct Google Glass goggles and link it to our Twitch, and just you'll see what my eyes see, and I'll just illegally stream a bunch of private. Probably get arrested for that, to be honest, but definitely gonna do that. That was not a joke. That was 100% real, obviously. We watched the show. It's actually really funny. The jury duty show. I was like, I would love if that's what it ended up being, and I'm like getting pranked on a TV show, but it was not a Craigslist jury duty ad. It was, which I think is how they found the guy from that show. I got official documents from the government. That show's really funny though. For people who don't know, what Prince X Phoenix is talking about. There's a show called Jury Duty where all of the jurors and all of the trial is fake. Everything is fake and paid actors except one guy who's a real guy who thinks he's doing jury duty. And the case is just ridiculous and a bunch of ridiculous stuff happens. So it's all about his reaction. And it's actually a very funny, very solid TV show. I'd recommend watching it.
Yeah, the guy is so genuine. I like that.
He's too nice. I was like, I don't know. He puts up with so much. It's also funny that they have that kind of like, that actor, he's a famous actor, but like nobody quite know, like they're like, I can't remember what you're in, and then like that guy was hilarious playing himself, and he like played an asshole version of himself that kept trying to get out of it and then fucking up, like I don't know, James Marsden, I think his name is. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Family Guy joke too, like the way that they like can hear what he's saying and then they like feed it into the thing. Oh, here's Poppenstock is just saying like I was saying earlier that
what do you think of the drop?
If it didn't sell out, drop didn't sell out and they had the burn packs, I'd be waiting for you to pop in the chat and tell us how many packs were being burned. I was like, Pop and Stock will know what's going on, but I think we figured out that the it drop did actually sell out and they're not going to burn any packs. This is where I landed based on my very quickly reading the Discord hours after it happened.
Yeah, I think it sold out last minute is what we discovered.
Also, like, it looks like it's doing pretty good on the aftermarket. For like not selling out, like it's maintaining value pretty good for almost not selling out. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Grubfish Day or Crittercraft Day on the Atomic Up Games Fest. I'm pretty opinionated. Y'all know my opinions on Wax Games. I still think it's worth going and supporting like the Atomic Up Games Fest and watching the streamers. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Warsaken, but if somebody's streaming Warsaken for the Games Fest, I'll raid into them after this. Like, I do think it's a good thing to bring the community together and like show off all the games. And if they can do this regularly, that's good for Wax, even if I don't 100% agree with every game they choose. Honestly, Warsaken's not my beef. It's really Forge Arena. I don't like Minac, but Warsaken's fine. I just don't personally enjoy playing it. But I think they do fine for their community. Forge Arena, on the other hand, is kind of run by a sexist, racist, homophobic guy, which I cannot get behind, and I will not raid into someone promoting that. But I still think not the worst thing in the world to support streamers that are trying to help out Wax Games and stuff. Like, it's not their fault that the creator of the game is a shithead. I don't expect everybody to be as hardcore as I am about vetting the owners of projects and stuff. Moon Bosmarty, congrats. You just won the Atomic Up gem. You know, I'll just send this to you right now. We won't even do it after the stream, so you can start playing Encryptia immediately.
Yeah, he yeeted his backpack and had a mythic gold trail.
Pay to win, pay to win.
Yeah. Like, I get like the red backpack too. That's
Let me make sure this is the right wallet. Oh, I1fu.wham. Says I'm not logged in for some reason. It must have auto-logged me out. I have to go to a different browser to send this, so you're not seeing me. But off screen, I am now sending this through our giveaway wallet, which is logged in. I don't know if anybody else does that. I use multiple Wax wallets, and each wallet is logged into a different browser. So when I need to give stuff away, I use Firefox. For my own playing and stuff, I use Microsoft Edge, and that's what I'm streaming. So I switch over to the other browser to keep my stuff separate.
Oh, the flag. That's cool. I haven't even seen the flags in action. I think you're one of the first people I've seen that finished with a flag.
I think the flags came out yesterday. I think they're new. I hope there's still some around. I don't know if I missed the chance to get them, but I'm all about my Grubfish cosmetics, even though I hardly even join other streamers' giveaways at this point.
I got a red tail and I got a green backpack.
All right, that should be sent. If you check your wallet, it should have the Atomic Up gem. So congrats and thanks for playing. Also, again, shout out to Prince X Phoenix for providing that prize, and the Spicy Phoenix venue has other NFT prizes in it. So go ahead and work there if you play Brigade in Taco. And even if you don't, it's free to play, so anybody can hop in if you're looking for a chance to win some NFTs.
Yay, yay.
Drop was yesterday only. Crap, I missed it. Real life getting in the way. I should have said, screw you, Dad. I'm trying to get a Grubfish flag. Trying to explain that to him. He'd be like, what? Did you want to try to play that before we sign off? Do you want to try to do a round? Oh, what's going on here? Thank you for the cheer, Mocha. We appreciate it. Do you want to try to do a maze on Clash Dome before we wrap this up, Max?
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Prince X Phoenix posted in our chat, so I'll send you a link through. Let me send you a link through Discord. One second.
All right, here's my avatar lady with the bug eyes, and as you can see from her cone nipples, she's one of this planet's top race.
Would you mind posting it again in our Discord, Prince X Phoenix? Your name is showing up weird, right? Like when you change your name on Discord, it just says P ... and it'll do that for a few days until it fixes it. So I can't search by your posts to find it. Or you can just play any map, but I think it's fun to play your map. It's cool that you made it.
Let's see, where is this? I just need to go to play here.
I think it's
Oh.
the maze, whatever it's called, like the mouse.
Maze.
Yeah. Let me change this to my webcam.
What's that?
It's actually like one of my more favorite of the new Clash Dome games. Here, I'll get rid of my face too so people can see better.
Level editor.
Terra Block is supposed to be like Tetris too. You might like that one, Max. I think it's more so like Tetris than the previous one, which was, like the.
Okay, I have to try that one. Yeah, I heard of that. There's a Tetris one.
If you click, I think any of those battle buttons down there, it'll play, right, or no? Or maybe click on the right, that thing that's flashing. I can't read it because your face is in front of it.
This one or no? Wait, that's just the play.
But essentially,
I shouldn't try that.
it's Pac-Man, but like Snake, as you eat the stuff, your guy gets longer. So it's like a combination between Snake and Pac-Man. If you run into yourself, you die. So you have to like avoid the ghosts and avoid running into yourself. And also, if you run into the wall and don't move for a couple seconds, you die. You'll figure it out pretty easily. He says, on the pill behind the camera. Oh, that's what Prince X Phoenix said. She said.
Okay, let me try this again. To maze.
Depends on what power-ups on the maps. Some maps are just like Snake, some maps are like Pac-Man. Okay, I've only played the Pac-Man maps then. But you do get longer even when you're playing it like Pac-Man. So it gets a little harder because you can run into your own tail. Click play.
All right, let's see. So now to choose hers, do I just do play first or?
She did not post her. She said just use RNG and maybe you'll get hers. It'll randomly pick one. She said we don't have to play hers.
Well, let's see. I'll just try it. I have never tried this game, so.
Yeah, I guess from the user side, you can also create custom maps. So if you're interested in making your own maze, you can do that. I think you also don't want to run into the skull and crossbones if that's.
Am I using like WSAD or the arrow keys or what?
I honestly can't remember. It's either the arrow keys or WASD. You'll figure out pretty quick.
Okay.
There's 25 maps. So that turns you into like. You can eat them like in Pac-Man. But you just want to make sure you don't run into yourself. That's how you die. Or if you run into the wall for too long, you die. Eventually, they will turn into not ghosts too, and then they'll kill you. And it's like Pac-Man, you can't run into them. Oh, you're freaking eating them up. Okay, now you got to make sure you don't kill yourself.
Oh, I was trying to go right. I was an idiot.
Okay, now they'll kill you. You can't run into them.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, this is way harder now. Fuck.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. The strategy is you should not have eaten both of the pills at once. You should have saved the second pill for your second life.
Oh. Okay. I'm getting the hang of this.
So
and then each time it's a different level.
This one's got teleporters.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh god.
I think if you go through the third teleporter, then you go to the fourth room, and that's where you want to get that those pills and just murder everybody.
Oh god.
Or maybe it's random each time. You're just trying to get into the. You can also time it. You don't want to time it when those guys are too close to the teleporter.
If I get the middle one now, I'm totally gonna get fucking boned.
You die just from not moving too much. If you run into the wall for too long, you die.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Damn, this is.
That was kind of a hard level. Prince X is also saying vote. I think you're supposed to vote for the levels.
Oh, okay.
Is this your level, Prince X Phoenix? It looks like it, right? Or is this similar? No, yours was different. Yours had like more levels than this.
Oh no.
Oh
no. God, I'm a fool. Okay, vote. Oh, down here. Okay. That one was pretty good. I'd give that one 4 stars. I would have given it 5 stars if I didn't suck so hard.
Prince X says it tells you who made the level at the top right after you play. So we'll see if it's hers.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So where am I? What? Where the fuck am I? Oh, here I am.
I'm also excited to watch the H3 podcast. I haven't even
Oh
caught up
god.
on last week's.
What the fuck?
They had some drawing that looked like a Shiki Solana USD drawing.
Oh no! Who the fuck makes this? Fuck you for
You can
making
vote
this
it
so
low
hard.
if you don't like it.
Okay, there we go. I made it at least. Okay. Oh, and then I ate both the pills like a fucking idiot. You'd be shitting me.
You need to go, I think, down through it. They go or up through that circle if you want to get all those pills. Like the way you run
Ah,
through the red circles, which way? So you need to go up
okay,
through the
okay.
red circle on the other side of the map.
Ah, fuck! Oh, you gotta be shitting me. I'm so bad at this.
Other people are just making tons of money off you right now.
I'm gonna say 3. That's 3. I feel like it was getting fun once I kind of got what was going on, but
I will say, Prince X Phoenix map is also much better than most of these maps. Like
okay, let's see.
Prince X Phoenix maps just felt like Pac-Man. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, there we go. Now I got you. Oh, okay, good. Oh, wait. Oh my god.
That's so close.
Okay, where's another thing that can't eat these guys still?
Yeah, as long as you're in that form, you can eat them. You just don't want to kill
Okay.
yourself, basically. As
Oh,
long as
what
you,
am I
kill,
doing?
you just killed yourself.
Uh,
You're your biggest
What-
enemy when you're in that form.
that one I liked. I'm gonna give that one 5 stars. I immediately understood how to do that one.
You can also try out the Tetris game. I haven't seen that one yet.
420. All right, let's try this one. Yeah, let's try the Tetris then after this. Okay. Oh shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty good over here.
Guess I should go back just in case and eat this last one.
If you eat all the coins on the map, new ones appear. So I guess you can go like.
Oh god, he's
Go!
coming for. Oh, why did I do that? Ah. With
Sticky situation
no.
here. No.
Oh.
You should try Tetris. Let's see that.
All right, all right.
Or it's not. I'm sure legally it can't be called Tetris. Tetra blocks.
Hold on, I gotta give this one 4 stars. That was pretty good. Let's see. It's called.
It's on the bottom. Tetra blocks.
Tetra Box. Okay, let's try that one.
I'm excited to try this game my brother showed us.
Yeah, that block action one.
I hope we can get a bunch of wax streamers to do it. We can do like a massive like wax 120 person like raid on other people.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun.
Tetra box, the lineup, the start, it makes more points.
Okay, what am I trying to
Tetra
do
takes
here?
some learning, says Uga. Max is actually very, very good at Tetris as far as like
To do this.
I'm willing to bet I'm better than Max at Pac-Man, but Max is much better than me at Tetris.
Oh, what are these stars? I'm just like
These
ignoring
stars
the
matter
stars.
for points.
Oh, like I want to put stars all in the same. I see.
Yeah, like maybe if you get all the same stars in the same row, it's like bonus points.
I feel like ultimately it's still about getting like Tetris's.
The more stars at once is more points. Line up the stars is what everybody's saying.
There's no way to like hold a piece, right? Or like save something.
Is there a way to hold pieces, audience? Space bars hold.
I'm using spacebar to drop.
He means like, can you hold a piece to the side so you can use it later? That's usually something in Tetris. It's also a little weird right now because the bottom of your screen is being covered by our neon space thing, but yeah, that's better.
Yeah. There we go. Like this is a game I can probably beat the
Yeah,
rival.
you can
on.
probably actually get high scores in this. They just fucked up. We let a lion into the den. Max is real good at this game.
Let's see.
Yuga
Fuck up.
says he thought you could save as well. But maybe it's not spacebar. I don't know. Is spacebar what you're using to drop? I'd assume that's up.
Yeah, spacebar is drop.
Prince X got 42k points last week. That's your high score to beat. I do like the aesthetic of this. It's very neon. I like the flashing colors and lights. I approve. I feel like I'm gonna turn on some music while we do this since your computer audio isn't showing. We also gotta figure out why your computer audio is never working on the. Actually, I don't even know if there's music in this game.
Yeah, I don't hear audio on my end either.
There is.
Here's another Tetris. Yeah, see, I would save this block if I could, so I could not have to do this. But I guess I can just start building.
Multiple people said you could save blocks. We just don't know how.
Start building a Tetris up in the center of the thing instead of up on the side. Oof. Get that out of here.
I guess I'm not blocked. Over here.
There we go. Ooh. I'm just gonna Tetris this out of here.
I'm also gonna see who else is streaming and get ready to raid into someone, because after we finish this game of Tetra blocks, we will be raiding into somebody else and ending the stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be on next on Thursday, and on Thursday, I think we'll be watching Off the Rails videos, which are just fun TikToks, Reddits, fun kind of viral videos people send for us to laugh at on stream. If you're interested in submitting content to that, hit us up in Discord. We're happy to add it, and as long as it doesn't have copyrighted music, we're usually pretty good to play it.
Yeah, we got too many strikes.
We do have multiple. We have one strike going for us on YouTube right now. Friggin' showing the Apple commercial got us a strike.
Alright. A little tall here, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll play some Diablo on Thursday as well. So I do want to start playing big time on stream again and not just playing Diablo, but I also like playing Diablo on stream, so maybe we'll do a bit of both. Probably not on the same day, but then I also want to try out that new game, so we'll see. I also got to fix, I never took care of my hard drive. It's still like broken on my gaming computer, so it's not convenient to stream games for me right now, but
Yeah, fix this.
we don't even see the score.
Oh.
You'll see the score when he loses.
Oh
There
no,
it
I
is.
can move over fast enough.
He won 14,000.
Now,
All right, well, I'm going to flip over to my screen, Max. Thank you for showing that off.
almost 10x their score. Let's go.
And thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Prince X Phoenix, for providing some prizes. Thank you to Prime Rogue for sending us some Novo Pangea stuff as well. Maybe we'll give those away on Thursday or Friday if people are interested in some workers for Novo Pangea.
Yeah. That's
But we'll see y'all on Thursday. Hit us up in Discord. We'll be around. I got to do some work for the next couple hours, but then I'll be nerding out per usual. So thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love. We're gonna raid into Jungle Bry. Say hi for us, and we'll see you all on Thursday. Peace out, everybody.
See you.
And maybe we'll have a new blend soon too. I know we're thinking about doing that. That
Oh,
one you were
yeah.
talking about, Max. I'm gonna raid
Yeah.
before we blow it. I don't want people to know what we're talking about.